Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Live from the campus of Robert C. Byrd High School, this is RCB Football. I'm John Griffin. Alongside me is Jonathan Griffin. We hope you'll join us tonight as the RCB Flying Eagles get set to battle Oak Glen. Both teams enter tonight's game with 0-1 records, and both squads are eager to record their first win of the season. We'll take a short break and be right back to look at tonight's matchup. With tonight's opponent, Oak Glen. Jonathan, what do you have for us?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and again, welcome to the campus of Robert C. Byrd. Looking at tonight's matchup between the Robert C. Byrd Flying Eagles and the Oak Glen Golden Bears. Oak Glen, they fell in week 1 of the season to Weir High School Red Raiders 32-13. The Golden Bears were outgained by the Red Raiders in total offense, 332 yards to 200 for the game. Oak Glen was penalized 14 times for 143 yards. Matt Greenleaf led Oak Glen with 80 yards rushing on 11 carries. Buck Franklin scored on a 19-yard run, and Matt Greenleaf scored on a 1-yard run for Oak Glen. Oak Glen ran for a total of 186 yards in the ball game, but only threw for 14 passing yards. Also on the evening, the Golden Bears only attempted 5 passes in the season opener, so look for a heavy running attack by the Golden Bears tonight. Taking a look at some notes for the Robert C. Byrd Flying Eagles, Byrd fell to Kaiser in week 1, 35-21, after having a 14-0 lead. Nick George completed 17 of 41 passes for 276 yards, 2 early touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and he was also Robert C. Byrd's leading rusher with 46 yards and a touchdown on 11 carries. Bryce Byrd caught 4 balls for 126 yards and a touchdown, while Braden Thompson had 6 receptions for 90 yards and a touchdown. Quentin Cooley had 2 catches for 33 yards and also intercepted 2 passes. However, one was overturned due to a flag. RCB was outgained in total yards by Kaiser, 332 to 312. RCB threw for 276 yards, but had just a mere 36 rushing yards on 16 attempts. The Flying Eagles defense allowed Kaiser 289 rushing yards in the game. RCB was flagged 12 times for 98 yards in week 1.
Thank you for that set of game notes. Very well done. And, again, both teams tonight, Jonathan, looking to get in the win column, both having suffered a defeat last week. I had a chance earlier in the week to sit down with Robert C. Byrd head coach Josh Gurrell and talk about last week's game and look forward to this week's game. And here is what Coach Gurrell had to say. Sitting here with Robert C. Byrd head football coach Josh Gurrell for our weekly talk about football and other things at Byrd. So last week, Coach Gurrell, you started like wildfire.
We did. We came out strong. We completed some deep balls, some one-on-one opportunities to go make big plays. Got up 14-0. I think special teams, obviously the kick return, changed momentum. And from there, it was our inability to run the football and poor execution a lot of times offensively, and bad mistakes at critical moments in the game that put us down. We weren't able to overcome that. But anytime you give up 14 points and the opponent only has 20 yards of positive offense at halftime, that's a problem. So that's something we've got to get corrected.
So I'm assuming you worked on those to correct those in practice this week?
We did. We've had a spirited practice. We paid especially close attention in detail to our special teams again. And then there's nothing new. Listen, we've had problems with that here in the past. So it's not as though we don't work on it. We work on it every day. We've got to get it fixed. That's got to be corrected. We've got to come out and run the football. That's got to get fixed. And if we do those things, we'll be a lot better off.
talking about your personnel on the team, the returning players, Nick George, Minor along the line, and the others, but also the newcomers. Can you talk about how the newcomers and the veterans are kind of meshing together?
Sure. We've been very fortunate to have three guys that weren't there last year in our skill positions. Braden Thomason, Bryce Bird, Quentin Cooley have been extremely versatile and come out and added a deep threat and a element to our game that we haven't had here in quite some time in terms of being able to catch the football and hit home run plays. Obviously, having Ty Drake and Nathan Losky transfer in has been big. I thought Ty played extremely well Friday night. Defensively, he was unbelievable. We realized we've got to get Nathan the football and get him involved and get him going early. But those five guys have all made a big impact and contribution to us so far, and will continue to as the season goes along.
So what's the one thing that the newcomers can work on, or one thing that they're lacking right now? I'm assuming it's just experience.
Yeah. It's obviously it's learning the terminology and the spacing and the calls and being put into a situation where they're doing something different as opposed to what they're used to doing in years before. So, once we get everybody on the same page, we're going to get better as the weeks go on. We're going to be okay. We're going to end up being a really good football team before this is all said and done. But we've got to get that going now as opposed to later in the season.
And those three players, Bird and Thomason, and the other one was Cooley.
Yeah.
How much would you have liked to have seen them play their freshman, sophomore, and junior years?
Well, I think if we had those three last year, we probably won a state title. That goes without saying. So, again, we only had a couple guys last year in the passing game with Nathaniel Junkinson and a couple of those guys. But you add those three in until we had last year with the running game, we're probably wearing a ring. But you know what? Like I say, if ifs and buts was cookies and nuts every day for Christmas. So, I'd like to see all three of them play for 3 years. They'd have been explosive right now.
Well, they were certainly fun to watch, and I was impressed for that being their first game in who knows how many years.
So we're about ready to go here for tonight's game. The visiting Oak Glen Golden Bears visiting the Robert C. Byrd Flying Eagles. It's going to be another beautiful night here at Robert C. Byrd Field, but we're not going to break any attendance records. We have got the Italian Heritage Festival going on downtown Clarksburg, and Oak Glen is about a 2.5-hour, 3-hour trip. And looking across the way right now, Jonathan, they do not look like they have brought a lot of fans, understandably.
No, looks like really just a couple fans made the 2-hour journey to Clarksburg for this gridiron battle tonight.
So it's hot in the booth right now. We think it's going to cool down a little bit later tonight when the sun sets down behind us in the west. Student section is ready to go. I believe the theme tonight is tropical, Hawaiian, something along those lines.
Luau tonight.
Luau. Yes, I'm dating myself. Not keeping up with the trends of the student body. Joining us at halftime tonight will be Dr. Jamie Looker, assistant principal at Robert C. Byrd High School. I want to thank our producer ahead of time, David Oliverio, tonight. And on stats and spotting for us is Mr. Stephen Kennedy. So let's take a quick break, about 5 minutes to go before we start this contest, and we'll be right back after these messages.
Glen County Schools has a long-standing tradition of providing outstanding educational opportunities for its students. Comprised of 24 schools, our district serves the needs of pre-K through 12th grade students throughout Harrison County. Providing a safe, supportive learning environment for all, we offer a well-planned, comprehensive curriculum designed to meet the needs of every student at every grade level. The elementary curriculum emphasizes core subjects augmented by music, art, health, integrated technology offerings, and physical education. Middle school students are introduced to programs, career counseling, and coursework that will help them make the transition to high school. Our high schools offer a broad and challenging curriculum to meet diversified needs and prepare our students for future careers or post-secondary education. Advanced placement honors, as well as dual credit partnerships, are available through local universities. Healthy Grand Families is a free initiative to provide information and resources to grandparents who are raising grandchildren. Healthy Grand Families is a partnership with Harrison County Schools, Family Services of Harrison County, and United Way. Harrison County Schools, where all are leaders and all are learners.
Welcome back to Robert C. Byrd, ladies and gentlemen, as they take care of the coin toss and the pregame festivities, presided over by RCB alum and current Clarksburg City Councilman Jerry Riffle and his son Jordan Riffle. Jonathan, what do we have for bigger games or big games in the state later tonight?
Yeah, looking around at some of the big games around the state tonight. First in AAA, a big one between Musselman and Martinsburg. Both teams are 1-0. Another big one that folks will be keeping their eye on, Bridgeport at Morgantown, both 1-0. And University takes on Park South at 1-0. AA, you have Lindsay versus Fairmont Senior. Philip Barber 1-0 at Clay County 1-0. Princeton AAA is battling Bluefield. In Single A, you have Tyler Consolidated and Doddridge County. Summers County's Greenbrier West face off. Liberty's taking on South Harrison, and Ravenswood at 1-0 is taking on St. Mary's at 0-1.
So a couple of games of interest to me and to you. Of course, Philip Barber is 1-0 on the season. That's my alma mater. We'll keep some get an update on the South Harrison Liberty game, two in-county teams. And the head coach, Brett Hathaway at South Harrison, is an RCB teacher. And we want to wish him the best of luck tonight as he goes for his first victory of the season also.
Not sure who. It looked like Robert C. Byrd won the coin toss, and it looks like they had elected to receive.
I think you are correct. Just waiting now as the Eagles make their way out onto the field through the, we'll call that the west end zone, to our left and onto the field. And we can't mention enough one of the players that was integral in last week's production, even though they didn't come out with the victory. A newcomer to the football team, Braden Thompson. What you might not know is he is a very good soccer player. He scored 3 goals last week on Thursday night before the Friday night football game, and last night he scored 2 goals against Bridgeport to help the Flying Eagles to a victory over the Indians.
Let's hope he didn't exert too much energy yesterday so he can be ready to go tonight.
I asked him yesterday in the hallways when I saw him, I said, did you sleep all day Saturday? And he just kind of laughed. Fireworks going off now as we get ready to go.
Should be a good matchup as both teams looking to get in the win column. Be anxious to see Robert C. Byrd's offense tonight. Didn't have much success rushing the ball in week 1 against Kaiser. I'm sure that's going to be a point of emphasis tonight for the Eagles offense and head coach Josh Garrell. And
that's one of the things he mentioned in his interview was they have to be able to run the ball. They have to be balanced.
Yeah, it's great to be able to run and throw the ball around. However, a lot of teams and a lot of times to extend drives, those running plays really help you extend drives and really wear the other defense down.
So Oak Glen did indeed, or will indeed, kick off. We think that we're not sure who won the coin toss, but they are going to kick off. That's Trenton Richmond, number 43, and he'll kick off to Braden Thomason, the gentleman we were just talking about, for the Flying Eagles. So we're just about ready to go. And there's the kickoff, and it's a squib kick, and it's going to go out of bounds right about the 32-yard line. The ref throws a flag. Good play by the Robert C. Byrd kickoff team or the receiving team, just let that kind of go out of bounds, not risk anything by trying to touch it or pick it up.
Yeah, not sure what Oak Glen was trying to do right there. It looked like, obviously, they did not want to kick it deep to Braden, but looked like kind of a squib kick. But normally when you do those squib kicks, you don't kick it low like that towards the sideline. Usually you sky it up so somebody will call a fair catch. So not sure if some poor execution there on the first kickoff for Oak Glen.
So the ref's going to spot the ball at the 37-yard line of Robert C. Byrd. They'll break the huddle. Nick George in the backfield. He's got two backs, one to his right, one behind him. Waiting for the referee to give the signal to start. And now the offensive line for the Flying Eagles comes up out of their stance, so not sure what we're waiting on here.
They respotted the ball.
Spotted it.
Yeah.
About an inch, a yard shyer than what was. So it's at the 36. Here's a snap. Here's a handoff straight up the middle, and that's going to be Braden Hilliard, I do believe, and he's going to rumble all the way down to the 30-yard line of Oak Glen, or the 25-yard line. Yes, Braylon Hilliard, number 5, a 6'1 senior for the Flying Eagles, and he appears to be hurt. Looks like something on his left hip, possibly, so not a good sign.
Yeah, Matthew Greenleaf was the Golden Bear that ran him out of bounds. Really didn't tackle him. It kind of looked like he pulled up really before and then just kind of stepped out of bounds and went down. So really a great rush to start the game. Hopefully he can be okay.
We'll look at the replay here. He crosses the 40, gets to the 30, and does kind of pull up just a little bit there. So the ball spotted at the 25. Hilliard still on the ground, being attended to by the RCB staff and medical personnel.
Looks like he's up on his own power, and don't want to say he's 100%, but he looks like he's going to be okay.
He's going to recover. We'll hope for the best. And it looks like we have the Clarksburg Little Eagles assisting with game activities or game production, or what do we want to call that? Game assistance, managerial duties, getting their feet wet.
That's going to go down as a 39-yard run there for Braylon, which is a really good start to the night. If you take into account that Robert C. Byrd, as a team, only had 36 total yards last week. So right there, you've got one play, and you've amounted the more total rushing yards in one play than you did in the entire game last week.
And like we said, Coach Gurrell wanted to make that a point of emphasis this week.
Not sure what the holdup is. It was stopped due to the injured player. Now both teams are ready to play on, it looks like.
So it'll be 1st and 10, ball on the 25 of the Golden Bears. George in the shotgun with one back.
Looks like Jones.
Latrell Jones, number 1. And it is Latrell Jones, but George is back to pass, tucks the ball, moves upfield to about the 20, all the way up to about the 15. So we didn't see anything across the middle. Decided to keep it and scrambled for about 5 yards.
Yeah, nice pickup there by George. Really a good job of just kind of giving what the defense allowed him. Didn't have anybody. Pretty good coverage by the Golden Bears there. And Buck Franklin with the stop for the Golden Bears.
And that's a good football name, Buck Franklin.
Great football name.
So it'll be 2nd and about 2. Ball resting at about the 21-yard line. George with 2 backs, one to his right. He's going to give a handoff straight up the middle to Latrell Jones, and he's wrapped up for minimal gain.
Yeah, again, Buck Franklin, back in there with the stop and a lot of penetration on that run play. Nothing really didn't look right from the start. Luttrell did a good job of making the first man miss.
So they have Franklin listed as a D-back, but he looks to be in a linebacker position right now.
Yeah, he definitely looks like he is in that middle linebacker role.
3rd and 1. 10:23 left to go. Here's a handoff to Jones right up the middle. He cuts right, and he's going to go into the end zone for a Robert C. Byrd Eagles flying touchdown. A nice cut by Luttrell right off the right side.
That's a beautiful jump cut in the hole there. Luttrell hits the hole hard, jump cuts, hits it outside, and takes it to pay dirt. What great vision and skill set there by Luttrell.
So a nice little 4-yard drive, all runs. They tried one pass. George tucked it and kept it. And here's Thomason to try the PAT. Rylan Rock to hold. Here's the snap, ball's down, and Thomason boots it through. So we've got your Eagles scoring first tonight. They're up 7-0 with 10:17 left to go in the first quarter. We'll take a break and be right back after these messages. We don't really know that it's called Eagle Stadium for sure, but I'm going to call it that. 7-0, the Flying Eagles up on top.
Yeah, that drive's going to go down officially as 4 plays for 64 yards for the Flying Eagles offense.
So great way to start the night. Thomason will handle the kickoff duties for the Eagles. Bert Anthony, number 32, back for the Golden Bears.
And it looks like Buck Franklin is to the far side.
Here's a run up by Thomason. He's going to kind of pooch it, and Franklin's going to get it at about the 15, make his way up the middle of the field, and brought down by the Flying Eagle defense. And a flag is down on the field.
Ty Drake with the special teams play, and Ty had a fabulous game last week from his middle linebacker position. So good start for him again tonight.
Yes. And that's one of the things that Coach Grell also wanted to work on is the kickoff coverage, special teams.
Yeah, well, if you think about it, especially I know with Coach Grell, those kickoff coverages are super important because the last 2 games that you've played, going back to 2021 against Fairmont Senior, we all saw what happened there. And then last week, the special teams really helped Kaiser get back into the game and keep that momentum.
So holding was a call on the kickoff against the Golden Bears. That'll back them up. Ball will be spotted about the 18-yard line, and they'll have it 1st and 10. And we think that's number 13, Landon Beatty, the quarterback. He'll hand it off, and the Golden Bears will rush for a first down over the right side.
That was Colton Goldlin on the carry for the Golden Bears, and he was kind of forced out of bounds by a host of Eagle tacklers over there on the far sideline.
So good start also for the Golden Bears. They pick up a first down on their first play from scrimmage. Ball spotted at about the 32-yard line. In the shotgun. No, he's under center. I take that back. There's a handoff to the right side, and the running back is swarmed under by the Eagle defense.
That was Matthew Greenleaf on the carry for the Golden Bears, and again, a swarm of Flying Eagle tacklers there to bring the runner down. A really good pursuit there by the Eagles defense.
Gain of about 1 on the play. Beatty under center. He'll take the snap, hand it off, and number 3, Colton Goodlin on the carry. Stopped in the backfield.
Drake there with the tackle. Second tackle on the night for Ty.
He's picking up right where he left off last week.
Yeah, really does a good job in pursuit and getting to the ball carrier.
Loss of 2 on the play, so that'll bring up 3rd and 11 for the Golden Bears. Beatty in the shotgun. Man in motion. Here's a snap. He'll look to pass. Finds number 2 across the middle, and he's brought down immediately by the Flying Eagle defense.
Drake again there with another tackle for the Flying Eagles.
Logan Murray with a nice little reception for the Golden Bears. Unfortunately, he was only able to pick up about 5-6 yards. So Oak Glen will punt the ball on 4th and 7.
Josh down there.
And here's Buck Franklin handling the punting duties, and he shanks it just a little bit. Coaches on the RCB sideline telling their players to stay away, and they do. Braden Thomason was the deep man there.
Yeah, not a great punt, but it took a Golden Bears bounce and eventually down by the Golden Bears there.
The officials are going to spot the ball at about the 39-yard line, and Robert C. Byrd will have their second possession of the night. And across the way now, we do see the Oak Glen band setting up in the stands to our left. They may have ran into a little traffic on the way down here.
I think they might have stopped to get some Italian food at the Italian Heritage Festival.
They very well might have. So here's George with the pitch to Latrell Jones. He makes a nice cut. Nice running off the left side.
And really a nice touchdown-saving tackle there by Matthew Greenleaf for the Golden Bears.
Pickup of about 12, so that gives Robert C. Byrd another first down. Ball spotted at the 46-yard line of the Flying Eagles. George in the backfield. Jones beside him, looking to block. Here's George rolling out to his right. Can't find anybody. He's just going to have to keep the ball, and he's going to be brought down. Also a penalty marker being thrown on the play.
A host of defenders there for the Golden Bears. Nick was trying to make something happen out of nothing. He was trying to get Latrell to break off from his little out route to kind of go down the field, but Latrell had a defender right there, threw a block, and it looks like it's probably going to be a hold against the Flying Eagles.
So that'll back Robert C. Byrd up. 10 yards. That'll move the ball back to the 39-yard line. Correction, 34-yard line. Be about 1st and 22, 21 actually. So George sets the backfield in the shotgun. Man in motion, that's Thomason. It's a fake handoff, and George keeps the ball, gets about 10 yards off the right side. So a nice little designed run.
Greenleaf and Anthony there to combine to bring George down. Really good job there by George. The only thing I would say is kind of careless there with the ball security. Needs to tuck that ball away. But other than that, a good job of getting some much-needed yardage there on first down.
So it's going to be 2nd and 12. Ball's at the 44-yard line. George in the shotgun again, drops back to pass. Pressure by Oak Glen, and that's going to force George to keep the ball and run and scramble. But he makes the best of it, gets back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Buck Franklin there is going to get credit with that sack for the Golden Bears.
So Franklin making his presence felt for Oak Glen. Several tackles and punting duties tonight.
Yeah, really good job there by the Golden Bears front four to put pressure on George.
So they give George 1 yard on the scramble. Brings up 3rd and 11. Ball's at the 45. The sun's gone down behind us, so it does feel a little cooler. Here's the snap. George looking to throw deep, and he's got Bryce Bird. Bird hauls it in at about the 25-yard line with a nice catch.
Great pitch and catch there from George to Bird. Bird eventually brought down by Will Weekley, the corner for the Golden Bears.
And that's that fade route that they throw to the sideline, and the receiver turns around and the quarterback purposely throws that short sometimes.
Yeah,
correct?
it really puts that defender, the cornerback's already out there on an island, and it makes it even worse because it's almost as if the receiver and the quarterback are looking at each other, and right when he gets a little separation, the quarterback puts it right to where that receiver knows he's going to be. And so far, Bryce Bird's had a great start to this 2022 season.
Yes. So the ball spotted at the 18-yard line, 1st and 10 on a turning clock here, 5:36. Bird up 7-0. Here's the handoff to Luttrell, and he's going to break left, cut it back up the middle for about 5 yards.
Colton Goodlin with the stop for the Golden Bears. And so far, I've been really impressed with Luttrell's lateral quickness and his jump cutting ability in the hole. He's done an outstanding job tonight.
And he had some health issues earlier in the week, and according to Coach Grell, he didn't think he would play a whole lot tonight, but obviously he's feeling much better. So they do give 5 yards to Luttrell. 2nd and 5. Ball about the 12-yard line. Here's Luttrell again. Evades a tackler. Drives it up the middle. He's going to be close to the first down.
You can definitely tell it's been a point of emphasis tonight to be able to establish that line of scrimmage offensively up front for the Flying Eagles and really run the ball.
They've done a nice job with that so far.
So far, they've had 9 rushing attempts for 92 yards.
Great start to the night. So that is a first down, so they'll have 1st and goal. Robert C. Byrd will. Here's George, quarterback keeper straight up the middle. He's going to bull his way to about the 2-yard line. Bull his way, barrel his way, charge his way.
Goodlin there with the tackle for the Golden Bears.
And again, Nick George is a large young man.
Yes, he is not a small quarterback by any means.
So it's very easy to give him the ball, let him run up through the middle. There's always that threat of injury, but he's a pretty big guy. He can absorb those hits. 2nd and 3. Ball at the 3. Here's George again, handoff to Luttrell. He's going to cut it to the right. He's going to be stopped short of the goal line. Looked like he was going to break it, but a nice job of coming up in pursuit by the Golden Bears.
Yeah, good job there by Luttrell to make the first initial man miss and eventually gets tackled there just short of the goal line by Will Weekley of the Golden Bears.
We mentioned we'll have Dr. Jamie Looker tonight at halftime on with us to talk about Robert C. Byrd. We also see Assistant Principal Eric Post and Principal Steve Gibson down on the sidelines. We want to thank them for all their help and support to get this football game off the ground. So here's George again with the keeper, and he's met right at the line of scrimmage.
Goodlin there with the stop. It kind of was a funky play. I don't know if the snap, he didn't look comfortable when he first got the snap, and that little bit of hesitation allowed the Golden Bears to get some penetration on the front 7 there for Robert C. Byrd, and really not much doing on that play there.
So a nice drive so far by Byrd. We'll see if they can punch it in here on 4th and 1. So here's George. He's going to keep it, and he's going to bowl his way into the end zone for a Robert Seabird Flying Eagle touchdown, the second on the night.
Good job there up front. The big guys moving those front 7 of the Golden Bears to allow Nick to plunge into the end zone.
Nice push. And we know that the skill players get all the glory, but where the game is usually won is
up front.
So here's Thomason for his second PAT. And he splits the uprights again. So we've got a 14-0 score in favor of your Robert Seabird Flying Eagles with 2:34 left to go in the first half. We'll take a quick break and be right back after these messages. Back at Robert C. Byrd High School, just missing the fireworks back here as we get back from commercial. Robert C. Byrd 14. We believe it's 14, but they only have 13 points on the board right now. There they go. Put that 1 point up. 2:34 left to go in the first half.
Now 1 point's a big deal.
Yes, could be.
Taking a look real quick before kickoff at some scores. Morgantown is up 10-0 over Bridgeport in the first quarter. Martinsburg is leading Musselman 12-0 in the first quarter. Lewis County is leading Braxton County 13-7.
So here's the Thomason kick, fielded at about the 10-yard line by the Golden Bears, and they're swarmed by the Eagle Special Teams unit.
Really good pursuit there by the kickoff team for the Flying Eagles to get down there and make little doing for the return for the Golden Bears.
It was number 11, Ethan Hankey, on the fielding of the kickoff for the Golden Bears. He brings it up about 5 yards. Ball will be spotted 1st and 10 at the 12-yard line. Well, we're going to say the 10-yard line. That's what the scoreboard says, but I'm going to say about the 11. So the Golden Bears will look to try to get something established here. Beatty sends a man in motion, and we're going to have a flag, and it's going to look to be a false start against the Golden Bears, most likely.
Yeah, a lot of Robert C. Byrd Eagles players pointing to the offense, and that's what it's going to be. And really, those false starts are really drive killers for offenses. When you're starting out, to jump like that and get moved back 5 yards really, really hurts yourself.
So that'll move the ball back to the 15-yard line. And that can't be right. It's about the 11-yard line. So here's the snap, and they're going to heave it. And it's going to be picked off by Quentin Cooley. So Beatty,
I think they're going to call it incomplete now. Looks like he had it, but I think he got hit. I think the would-be receiver out there came back and hit Cooley from behind and knocked that ball loose.
he lost it from behind. Yes, good call.
So that was Logan Murray was the intended receiver to keep possession for the Golden Bears.
So Beatty in a little bit of trouble on that pass play, but managed to get it off. Probably ill-advised. So here's a 2nd and 15. Beatty's just going to keep it and go around the right side. He's going to be pushed out of bounds.
Good pursuit.
Correction, that was Goodland, I believe.
Yeah, it looked like a kind of a wildcat formation there by the Golden Bears. And he was forced out of bounds over there on the far sideline by Bryce Bird. the corner for Robert C. Byrd.
And God bless Oak Glen, but they are wearing white uniforms and they have light gray numbers. So it's a little bit difficult to see their numbers clearly from the press box.
So far, it hasn't been too bad, but when that sun sets, it's going to be a challenge.
Yeah. So here's Oak Glen back to pass. They're going to throw deep across the middle, and it's going to drop incomplete. Looking for Goodland there on the crossing route was Beatty.
Yeah, good coverage. There was really two receivers in the area, Goodland, and then also looked like number 20, looks like 26, but I don't see a 26 on their roster, the running back. And if you're Oak Glen, you don't want to be in that situation to be forced to throw the ball. Looking back last week, they did not do a very good job. They only attempted 5 passes in the entire game and threw for 14 total yards. So that's not something that Oak Glen wants to do, is drop back there.
So they'll punt. Ball's going to roll out to the land at the 50, I should say, and then roll down to about the 42-yard line of Robert C. Byrd. Buck Franklin again handling the punting duties.
Much better
Thomason
punt
back
this time around
yes.
for the Golden Bears.
And at the moment, we don't see head coach Josh Gurrell on the sideline. However, we do see his dad sitting up here in the stands. So we don't think anything is terribly wrong or there's an emergency. But again, we don't see him currently on the sidelines right now. So if we get any information about that, we will certainly pass it along to you.
Both teams are huddling on their sideline. Not sure if somebody called a timeout or if the officials. It is kind of muggy and a little bit warmer, so maybe the officials are letting each team get some water.
Could be. The Clarksburg flying Eagles, the flying Little Eagles, the Little Eagles. I'm not sure what their actual term is.
So diving
Assisting.
in, looking at the early stats of this ball game offensively, Oak Glen's ran 7 plays for just 22 total yards. Robert C. Byrd's ran 15 plays for 142 total yards, with 105 of them coming in the air.
So good good start statistically to the night for the Flying Eagles.
Both teams are looking to march back out. Taking another quick look at some other scores. Parkersburg South leading University, which is the AARP Class AAA game of the week, 21-7. That's in the first quarter.
Always good to keep tabs on scores around the state. So here's Robert C. Byrd, 1st and 10. Thomason in motion. Nick George, a quick pass out to Cooley. He bobbles it, makes the catch, evades a tackler, rumbles down past the 50, stays in bounds, and he's going to be dragged down about the 15-yard line by Will Weekly.
Yeah, Weekly there and Greenleaf combined to really, Cooley was dragging Greenleaf, and Weekly came over to finish him off.
So another good pass play right in front of us down the Robert C. Byrd sideline. Ball be spotted at the 15-yard line of the Golden Bears. Robert C. Byrd knocking on the door again. Here's George. He's going to hand it off to Thomason on a sweep to the left, and Thomason's going to rumble all the way and hit the pylon, but it may all be for naught because I do see a yellow flag on the field.
Yeah, it looked like there are 2 flags down on the far sideline, most likely holding. We'll see where the penalty occurred. It was on the line or on a receiver down the field.
And we had a great angle, and Thomason, although he is a prolific goal scorer in soccer, he has not scored a touchdown yet this year. He went around the left side. He saw that goal line, turned it upfield, and you could just see him kick it into another gear. He kind of got excited and got straight to the pylon.
I'm sure his eyes lit up when he saw that pylon and was doing everything he could to get into the end zone. Unfortunately, they are going to back it up. Looks like it's going to be either a hold or a block on the back. We'll see what the official says.
So that'll move the ball back to the 15-yard line, just inside the 15-yard line. George in the shotgun. He's going to look back to pass, and he's got the ball delivered to Cooley, it looks like, but it's in and out of his hands for an incomplete pass.
Looks like going to be second down.
Nine yards for the first down to go for Robert C. Byrd. George in the backfield. Jones behind him. Here's a handoff straight up the middle to Jones. He's going to make a few cuts and go down inside the 10-yard line at about the 8.
Another good run by Jones. Another good job up front for that Robert C. Byrd offensive line to open up them holes.
Yeah, Jones looks healthy. He looks game tonight. He looks ready to go.
Eventually brought down by Glen for the Golden Bears. Had a good game so far tonight.
And Jones, just a sophomore. He didn't see the ball much last year with the likes of King in the backfield, so he's still getting his feet wet. Here's George with the keeper straight up the middle. He's not going to get much, maybe a couple down to the 5. We'll give him 3.
Going to be close. Let's see if he got enough to get that first down. I'm not sure if he did. Looks like he might be just a hair short, and yeah, it looks like they're going to say 4th down in inches, but it's not going to matter because the Flying Eagles offense is going to let this time run out to end this first quarter.
So they'll move to the other end of the stadium, other end of the field here. Your score, 14-0, Robert C. Byrd, end of the first quarter. We'll be back after these messages.
Glen County Schools has a long-standing tradition of providing outstanding educational opportunities for its students. Comprised of 24 schools, our district serves the needs of pre-K through 12th grade students throughout Harrison County. Providing a safe, supportive learning environment for all, we offer a well-planned, comprehensive curriculum designed to meet the needs of every student at every grade level. The elementary curriculum emphasizes core subjects augmented by music, art, health, integrated technology offerings, and physical education. Middle school students are introduced to programs, career counseling, and coursework that will help them make the transition to high school. Our high schools offer a broad and challenging curriculum to meet diversified needs and prepare our students for future careers or post-secondary education. Advanced placement honors, as well as dual credit partnerships, are available through local universities. Healthy Grand Families is a free initiative to provide information and resources to grandparents who are raising grandchildren. Healthy Grand Families is a partnership with Harrison County Schools, Family Services of Harrison County, and United Way. Harrison County Schools, where all are leaders and all are learners.
Back at Robert C. Byrd High School, Robert C. Byrd Stadium, 14-0. The Flying Eagles up over the Golden Bears from Oak Glen in the Northern Panhandle. It's good to play competition from around the state.
It is. Big 4th down here for the Flying Eagles offense.
So George is in the shotgun, claps for the ball. He gets the ball, and he's going to rumble up the middle and bowl his way in for a Robert C. Byrd touchdown. And that's been their bread and butter so far tonight.
Yeah, Nick George, he's done a good job on that quarterback keeper, just really finding a hole, hitting it, and getting as much yardage as possible. And really hasn't taken a whole lot of shots.
He has not. He has not. He got hurt at the end of the game last week, recovered. He wasn't seriously injured, so it's good to see that he is willing to run up the middle. Here's Thomason on for the PAT. Lotsky with the hold, and here's the snap up, and that kick is going to be good. Wasn't sure about that one. That was more of a line drive.
Yeah, didn't look the greatest, but hey, a point's a point.
Point is a point.
We'll take it.
It was early this year, but tonight was senior night for the Robert C. Byrd Flying Eagles Marching Band. They were honored tonight, the seniors. Looking down on the field, I noticed that we have brought over one of the large fans from the gymnasium. It is on the sidelines here for Robert C. Byrd. Several linemen, players standing in front of it, cooling off.
Not sure who they had to talk to get that, but we will be putting in a request for one of those up here next week.
Yes, we will. Logan Frum down there now drinking some water and relaxing. Yeah, they look good, but they don't cool the gymnasium a lot.
So for the Golden Bears, you've got Bert Anthony back and Buck Franklin deep to receive this kickoff.
So here's the run up by Thomason. He's going to pooch it. It's going to be fielded at about the 15-yard line. That's number 32, Bert Anthony. He'll scamper to the left, be brought down.
Looked like Ty Drake again there. And looked like Hunter Jackson, wide receiver for Robert C. Byrd there on the kick coverage, making a tackle.
So the ball is going to be placed at the 27, first down and 10 for the Golden Bears. The keen eyes of our producer, David Oliverio, just observed that there does appear to be a mist coming out of the fan. And as I take a closer look, I see two extension cords running to it. So one may be a water line. And now that I look at it, yes, I think that is a water line. So here's the Golden Bears on a first down and 10. And Murray is scampering up the sidelines, and he's going to be pushed out of bounds right about the 50-yard line. So a nice run for Murray and the Golden Bears.
Yeah,
finally a little bit of offense.
Yeah, by far the best play of the night for the Golden Bears offense. Really good job there by Cooley on the outside to didn't get the tackle, but get enough momentum, got a hand on Murray to force him to step out of bounds.
First down and 10 from the 50 for the Golden Bears. Here's a handoff. Number 2, Logan Murray is going to carry the ball up over the 50-yard line down to the 45-yard line. 5-yard gain on the play.
Ty Drake there, another tackle on the night. For the Flying Eagles defense.
That'll bring up 2nd and 4, ball on the 44-yard line. There's Beatty with a handoff. No doing. Give him 1 or 2 on the play.
Logan from there, the initial contact for the Robert C. Byrd defense.
So that'll bring up 2nd and 2 for Oak Glen. Beatty in the shot. No, a correction. Beatty under center. Motions a man. That's Franklin going in motion from right to left. Here's a little handoff inside. Nothing doing. He's going to cut it to the right and out. That is Goodland. He'll pick up the first down. Forced out of bounds by Robert C. Byrd.
Yeah, Latrell Jones there did a good job of forcing Goodland out. And kind of a funky play. Goodland was lined up there as a fullback. And in this day and age of football, unless you're in the goal line, you don't see the fullback get the carry a whole lot. So
no, you don't.
Different look there by the Golden Bears offense.
So they pick up a first down. Ball's at the 30-yard line on their best drive of the night. Here's a handoff to Greenleaf. He'll cut it around the left side, evades a couple tacklers. Another missed tackle, and he's going to take the ball down to about the 19-yard line, maybe the 18.
Good job there, making several defenders miss, and it looked like Hunter Jackson again there with a stop for the Robert C. Byrd Eagles defense. So a good special teams play by him, and now making a play on the defensive side.
First down and 10. Ball is at the 19-yard line. Beatty under center. Takes the snap. Here's the handoff straight up the middle. Murray again, or correction, Goodland. He'll crash forward for about 4 yards. Brings up 2nd and 6. Ball's on the 15-yard line. Check at the 14-yard line. Here's a handoff. Goodland with the ball again. Nothing doing there.
Great job there by the Flying Eagles defense. Looked to be Drake again shooting the gap and making the tackle in the backfield.
So Ty Drake with outstanding defensive performance so far. He's got 6 tackles already on the night. 3rd and 6, ball's at the 16. Here's a snap, handoff straight up the middle, nothing doing. Goodland stopped at the line of scrimmage again.
The initial defender there for the Flying Eagles in the backfield looked to be, can't quite make him out. Looked to be from there, who did a good job of really disrupting that play from the start.
And folks, next week we promise that we will remember to bring our binoculars. So it's a 4th and 5 for the Golden Bears. Ball's at the 15. They're going to go for it. Here's the snap. Quarterback's going to roll out, looking to pass, going to cut up, and he's going to have the first down, and he's going to scamper into the end zone on a nice little run that he made happen basically all on his own.
Yeah, a little rollout. Not sure if it was intended to be a pass play. He did have a receiver, 2 receivers in the end zone, but really never looked at him, really never looked to pass, just kind of tucked that ball out, cut back towards his sideline to scamper in for the end zone for the Golden Bears.
So it looked like a little bit like a RPO, run-pass option there. And it looks like the Golden Bears are going to go for 2. No, they're going to kick. My mistake.
It did look like they kind of lined up and were going for 2 the way they huddled.
And Trenton Richmond puts it through the uprights for the extra point. So the Golden Bears finally get on the scoreboard. 7:49 left in the second quarter. Robert C. Byrd, Flying Eagles 21, Oak Glen Golden Bears 7. We'll take a break and be back after these messages. Back at Robert C. Byrd High School, here are some scores from around the state.
Yeah,
Jonathan?
taking a quick look again here. Morgantown in the second quarter is leading Bridgeport 18-6. Parkersburg leads Riverside 7-0. Independence in AA is up 16-0 over Oak Hill. East Fairmont and Grafton are still knotted at 0. That's in the first quarter. Fairmont Senior is trailing Lindsay 7-3 in the first quarter.
Fairmont Senior got beat by Lindsley last year in the regular season, then went on to win the state championship. Lindsay, a private school in Wheeling. And here's the kickoff by the Golden Bears. They're just going to squib it along the ground, and it's going to be fallen on there by the Flying Eagles at about the 26, 27-yard line.
Cooley was the Flying Eagle that just kind of pounced on the football.
And that ball just kind of rolled between several Eagle upbacks there. Nobody really wanting to touch it. Finally jumped on. So George back out for the Bird offense. And we're going to have a timeout and flag down. And it's going to be an illegal substitution or too many men on the field.
Yeah, a late player there for the Golden Bears ran off the field. So it is going to be an illegal substitution.
So that'll give Robert C. Byrd an extra 5 yards, make it 1st and 5, move the ball to the 32-yard line.
Took some time there, but they finally marked.
A lot of time for a
for a 5-yard penalty to mark it up.
Penalty. So George in the shotgun. Jones behind him. Here's the snap, a fake to Jones, and he's got that looks to be Lotsky out of the backfield. He's going to run up to the 50, and he's going to fumble the ball forward. Takes a nice roll for the Eagles, if you can call it that. It's going to be recovered by the Golden Bears at about the 35-yard line. So Lotsky had some momentum.
Yeah, not sure. Look, maybe one of his knees kind of came up and jarred the ball loose on his self. He was kind of hit from behind there by one of the Golden Bear defenders.
I think the defender got his right hand in the breadbasket there.
That looked like
stripped the ball, yeah.
Greenleaf there, Matthew.
Yeah. And actually, it looks like Lotsky was trying to tuck it in, and that's when the fumble occurred. So the Golden Bears will have the ball 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. They'll send a man in motion. Here's a handoff to Goodland up the middle. Keeps churning for about 5 yards, 6 yards.
Yeah, good job there to kind of move that pile after he was initially hit by Robert C. Byrd's Logan Frum.
So the Golden Bears getting a little bit of a run game going now. Second and 3, ball's at the 40. Here's the snap. And the handoff goes to Greenleaf. He'll try to make his way around the right side, or correction, the left side.
And looks like a late flag came in there from the far side line judge. Not sure.
Give him a yard on the play. Wait and see what the flag is.
Looks like it's going to be a hold against the Golden Bears.
So that'll back up Oak Glen 10 yards. That's a drive killer.
Again, another drive killer.
Would have been 3rd and 3. It's going to be 3rd and 13 because of that. Ball spotted at the 31-yard line now. And the Golden Eagles don't look to be a team that likes to pass it. So a lot of their offense is going to come on the ground. It doesn't do them well to be in 3rd and long. And here's a pass across the middle, just as I say that, to Murray. He's going to break a couple of tackles and scamper up to about the 45-yard line before he's brought down, but we see 2 flags on the play. We know one's going to be a hold against Oak Glen, and we'll have to wait and see what the second flag is going to be. The first flag came in almost immediately. We could see the Robert C. Byrd defensive lineman being held. I believe that was Wyatt Minor.
Yeah, Wyatt doing a good job up front there trying to put pressure on Oak Glen. And a good job there by Murray, who makes the catch and made 2 would-be tacklers kind of absorbed the hit and stayed up to get more yards. However, his effort's going to be negated by the penalty. And
you hate to see that. A kid makes a great play, nice athletic moves, and it goes all for naught. So it appears that there are penalties on both sides. So that's going to negate the play, and we're going to do it all over again. Third and about 12, 13, ball's at the 31. And we're going to have a stoppage of play before the ball's snapped. Looks like it's going to be either a timeout or a false start. We didn't get a signal from the official, but he blew the play dead. He's starting the clock again now, though.
Not sure if there was a clock issue or.
So for the third time, we'll do it again.
Third time's a charm.
Third time's a charm. Let's hope it's for the Robert C. Byrd defense here. So here's the snapback in the shotgun. Beatty's going to heave it downfield. It's going to be caught by Goodland, but he's going to be stopped short of the first down. Pushed out at about the 45-yard line.
Yeah.
So a nice gain on the play, though.
Pushed out there by Lotsky for the Flying Eagles.
So it's going to be 4th down and 3 now. Ball's at the 41-yard line. So Beatty under center, 2 fullbacks. And that's going to be 2 running backs. 1 split to the right. Here's the handoff up the middle to Goodland, but there's nothing doing. So nice job by the Robert C. Byrd defense.
Yeah, it was Ty Drake. He knew that play was coming from the start. Just blitzed that A-gap, got Goodland right in the backfield. So an excellent defensive play there by Ty Drake for the Flying Eagles.
So that'll bring up 4th and 4. And correct me if I'm wrong, but that seems like that should have been 4th down.
Yeah, I'm not sure if there was a mix-up. I saw the down marker on the far side had 2nd down. The scoreboard had 3rd down, so I'm not sure if Robert C. Byrd accepted the 1 penalty. It should have only been 2nd down and not 3rd down, so I'm not sure if the scoreboard operator had that correct.
So that'll teach me for watching the scoreboard. Got to watch the down marker.
Usually the down marker's right because usually there's official jotting down penalties. And if he sees that to be wrong, he usually lets him know. So
while we were debating that and talking about that, Oak Glen did punt the ball. Trickles out of bounds at about the 20-yard line, and Robert C. Byrd will take over 1st and 10. George in the shotgun. Here's a snap back. Fake handoff to Jones, and here's a pass across the middle, incomplete, intended for Thomason. Ball just a little bit behind him.
Yeah, a little bit behind him. I really think George kind of saw the coverage and wanted Tomlinson to kind of sit down. He kind of kept going in the middle, so the ball ended up being a little bit behind him.
And that's one of the things that Thomason will learn eventually, to get in that zone, find that soft spot, and sit down, much like you're accustomed to doing when you played.
Yeah, very tough to recognize that early in the season and in your young career.
So 2nd and 10. Here's the handoff to Jones, and he's going to be popped and fumbles the ball. We also have a flag down. So we're going to take a timeout here. Oak Glen says they have the ball. We'll check the flag, though.
It looked like Kyler George came up with the fumble.
Flag's going to go against Robert C. Bird, and obviously it's going to be declined. So Oak Glen will take over 1st and 10. Ball's going to be spotted right about the 21-yard line of the Flying Eagles. 4:41 here to go. 21-7, the Eagles on top. Beatty under center. He's going to pitch it back to Greenlee. Greenlee evades one tackler. Some nice moves. He's going to sprint away from the Robert C. Bird defense, bull over another tackler, and run into the end zone for the Golden Bear touchdown. So not a nice job defensively by the Eagles there.
No, not a good job wrapping up and finishing the play. Several would-be tacklers had a shot at Greenleaf to bring him down. Just not finishing the tackle right there. Just need to wrap up and finish him to the ground.
So 2 plays consecutively, a fumble and a touchdown back-to-back, and the Golden Eagles are going to be within 1 touchdown if they can convert this PAT here. Trenton Richmond going to handle the duties. Beatty will hold. And Robert C. Bird jumps. Play stopped. It's going to be offsides against the Flying Eagles. And it looks like the Golden Bears are going to now go for 2. As soon as Richmond, the place kicker, saw that flag, he promptly sprinted off the field.
Not sure why the play clock was a little late to start.
So the Golden Bears are going to try to cut it to 6 here. Under center. Beatty sends a man in motion. Here's a handoff up the middle, and they're going to rumble in for the 2-point conversion. So 2 mistakes in basically 3 plays there by Robert C. Bird allows the Golden Bears to pull within 6, 21-15.
That was Goodland there for the Golden Bears, who gets scores on the 2-point conversion. So a big momentum swing right now in this ball game. Like you said, just 2 plays, the momentum has now all shifted from Robert C. Bird early in this contest, now all on Oak Glen's side.
So Robert C. Bird will circle the wagons here. We got 4:31 left to go in the second quarter. We'll be right back after these messages. Back here at Robert C. Bird High School. Sun having fully set now. Oak Glen. 3 plays ago, they were down 21-14. Correction, 21-7. 3 plays later, they're down 21-15. A couple of nice drives there by the Golden Bears. And it's good to see that. You want a good competitive game. You hate to see a team come 2 hours, 2.5, 3 hours, and not be able to be competitive. Here's a kickoff by Oak Glen. Richmond just dribbles the ball basically across the ground. So he's not trying to do anything really fancy other than just get the ball past midfield and down in decent position.
That was Cooley again for the Flying Eagles special teams diving on that football.
And if I was the RCB coaching staff, I would watch that because the Oak Glen kickoff team is not blazing.
No,
they're not in any hurry to get down there.
No, they're not in hot pursuit of that football.
So one of those Eagle upbacks is going to have to, or could eventually, get up on that ball a little quickly, run up to it, and pick it up and run with it. So here's a handoff up the middle on 1st and 10 to Jones. He'll get about 5 all the way out to the 35-yard line. Brings up 2nd and 10. 4:19 on a turning clock.
Goodland is going to get the tackle for the Golden Bears. Really going back to that special teams play, that's one of those where you need to look at it and you realize, oh, Glen's going to squib that. You move try to move and sneak one of your return men up to that up back position.
Yes.
So hopefully not letting Oak Glen see that and have a big return on your hands.
And that very well may be an adjustment that the RCB coaching staff will make for the second half. Here's 2nd and 4. George with a pass to Cooley, and he can't corral that. A little bit high, but definitely a pass that Cooley should haul in. But again, Cooley is a first-year player, so he's still getting his hands in front of him, getting his hands underneath him, feet underneath him, as you will.
Big third down play here for the Flying Eagles offense. You don't want to give this ball back to Oak Glen.
Yeah, they have the momentum now, Oak Glen does. You don't want to give them the football again this close to the end of this half. 3rd and 4. And George is just going to keep it, and he's going to rumble up the middle and get the first down. That's what I thought was going to happen. He's going to get about 15 yards. We're going to roll out to about the 49-yard line, 50-yard line.
Will Weekly comes over from his cornerback position to make the stop for the Golden Bears. And Nick's done a really good job on that quarterback draw so far tonight.
And we said he's a big guy, but once he gets going, he's going. He's moving. He's not slow. He's not fast, but he's not slow. Let's put it that way. He gets past the line of scrimmage, and he's running downfield. 1st and 10. Ball's at the 47. And we're going to have a stoppage in play.
It's going to be a timeout, Robert C. Byrd.
So both teams will take, actually Robert C. Byrd will take a timeout. Both teams will head to the sidelines. Let's go ahead and take a timeout with them real quick, and we'll be back after these messages. Back here at Robert C. Byrd High School, 21-15 is your score with 3:21 left in the second quarter. The Eagles are going to have a 1st and 10 here after taking that timeout. George in the shotgun. Jones to his right. Lotsky goes in motion from left to right. Sets. Here's a snap back. George is going to pass the ball out to Cooley, and he's going to pick up the first down on a nice little move.
Yeah, good pitch and catch there from George to Cooley. I'm sorry, Byrd. That was
They're
Byrd.
saying Byrd.
So that was Byrd on the catch.
And I was just wondering before the timeout when they're going to target Byrd again after that nice catch in front of us here in the first quarter.
Trent McCartney with a stop for Oak Glen.
That'll move the chains. 3:07 left to go here in the second quarter. Here's the snap and the pitch to Jones. Jones is going to break around the left side. Nice blocking. He's going to scramble down beyond the 30, breaks a tackle, and is going to be pushed out of bounds at about the 21-yard line. So a nice run again by Jones.
Yeah, and unfortunately that's going to come back. They're going to call Wyatt Minor here, the left tackle. Got a little too much of the jersey on the outside.
Little handsy.
Yeah. You know, the refs, they're very lenient up front, inside, but as soon as one of those hands go out over the shoulder pad, that's going to be called all night. So that's going to neglect a nice run there by Jones.
And even though he's not going to get credit for that, Jones still made a nice run regardless. So that's good for his psyche.
Yeah. He's had a really nice night tonight so far. He's carried the ball 9 times for 57 yards and a touchdown, so he's having a real good evening here.
So it's going to be 1st and 17 at the 49 for the Flying Eagles. Bird is split to the left right in front of us. Here's a snap back. George is going to look downfield. Going to look to throw it, and he finds Lotsky, and it's just in and out of Lotsky's hands. So good job by Nick scrambling there to find Lotsky.
Yeah,
Lotsky just couldn't come up with the ball.
Yeah, good job buying some time. Put it right there where Lotsky could get it, just couldn't unfortunately come up with the grab.
Or correction, was that Bird again?
I think that was Lotsky.
Okay.
Bird's got the bright neon green gloves on. Lotsky had him on last week. He does not this evening, so
we'll go 2nd and 17. Here's a pitch to Jones. He's going to break it up the middle to the right. He's going to go for about 10 yards. Ball's going to be placed at the 42-yard line.
Bert Anthony with the tackle for the Golden Bears.
We'll bring up 3rd down and 7. No, correction. 3rd down and about 10. .148 left to go in the second quarter. Here's a snap back to George. He's going to heave it downfield to the end zone, looking for Bryce Bird, and it's incomplete. And I had to check myself on the number there.
Just looked like they had something there. Just put it a little too far out ahead of Bird. Tried to extend to make the catch, just a little far out of his reach.
A good designed play, though. And if that's anywhere near Bird, though,
yeah,
he's probably going to make that catch.
So far this season, that has definitely been Bryce Bird's ball.
So it's going to be 4th and 10, the ball at the 42-yard line for Bird. We'll see what they come up with here, what play call they have, and we're going to get a timeout by Oak Glen. So that's going to give Robert C. Bird a little bit of extra time to think about things. They'll take a water break. The Clarksburg Little Flying Eagles out on the field to help with the water duties.
While we have a break, we'll look at some scores real quick here. In Class Single A, the AARP Class A Game of the Week, Tyler Consolidated and Doddridge County, they're knotted at 6 apiece. You've got in AAA, Buchanan Upshur leads Ripley 7-6. That's in the second quarter. Both teams there looking for their first win. Woodrow Wilson and Greenbrier East are knotted at 7 in the second quarter. Huntington leads South Charleston 13-0 in the second quarter. Roane County and Lincoln County are knotted at 0 in the first quarter. Martinsburg leads Musselman 26-13 in the second quarter. And not sure if that's correct, because earlier it said 18-6 Morgantown was leading Bridgeport. Now it says 10-0 Morgantown at halftime. So we'll try and check and see if we can get a correct score for that Bridgeport-Morgantown game.
Thank you, Jonathan. So here's a 4th down. George is going to drop back. He's looking to pass. He's going to heave it downfield to Thomason. Thomason can't come back to the ball. It was well short. George under a little bit of distress there trying to get the ball off. Probably couldn't get everything on it that he wanted to. So what turned out to be a nice drive in the beginning falters. And the Golden Eagles, correction, the Golden Bears. There's a lot of Eagles and Bears in West Virginia, so you'll have to forgive me. They'll take over 1st and 10 at the 42 with 1:35 to go in the second quarter here. Beatty in the shotgun. He'll look to pass. He's got number 2, Murray, across the middle, breaks a couple of tackles, and gets down to the 44-yard line, correction.
Bryce Bird with the tackle for the Flying Eagles. And you can definitely tell that Oak Glen has worked on their passing game from last week. Only having 5 passing attempts last week for 14 yards has had a much better night tonight.
They're in a hurry-up offense now. Here's a snap back. Going to be thrown across the middle. It's going to be picked off by Bryce Bird. A nice job to jump right in front of that pass play.
Yeah, really good job by Bird. Kept his eyes on the quarterback, saw the ball the entire way, just jumped right in front of Buck Franklin to make the pick.
Bryce Bird, good closing speed, a nice rangy player. So Bird will take over again. 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line. We'll see if they want to try to tack on anything else or they're just going to try to run this clock out. I'd imagine with a timeout and over a minute to go, they'll try to do something. We'll see what happens on the first and second plays of this drive. Here's a snap back. George is going to roll to his left, and he hits Thomason across the middle, makes a spin move, stays on his feet, and rumbles down to the 30-yard line. Fumbles the ball, but that's going to be after he was already down.
Yeah, beautiful pitch and catch there.
And that's one thing, well, I take that back, but that's one thing that I'm not sure you can do with the soccer ball is make a spin move like that.
Yeah, Thomason pulling out a old Braxton Miller, former Ohio State quarterback turned wide receiver with the spin.
Here are the Eagles on the move. Here's the pass across the middle, flag down, complete to Thomason. He's going to rumble into the end zone, but we'll have to see what the flag is.
Another great run after catch there. Good. Thomason had a great yak tonight after catching the ball, but we'll see what the call is. Nick George not happy, so it looks like it's going to be against the Flying Eagles.
It does indeed go against the Flying Eagles. So that's going to back Robert C. Bird up to about the 39-yard line. Still be first down. 19 to go. 49 seconds left to go here. So obviously we know the answer to the question. Robert C. Bird's going to try to score here. And they'll probably try to go back to those crossing routes. So here's George with the snap. Fakes a pass to the right, and he keeps the ball. And he's going to be brought down inside the 35-yard line at about the 33, 32. Robert C. Bird takes their last timeout. Correction, their second timeout of the half. They have one left. 41 seconds left to go here in the second half.
Kyler George was the tackler for the Golden Bears.
So a good crowd has trickled in here tonight. We said at the beginning of the broadcast that the Italian Heritage Festival was going on tonight uptown Clarksburg. Oak Glen is a 3-hour trip, so we anticipated a less than normal crowd up on One Eagle Way, just down from Doug Layfield Lane. So Robert C. Bird will get set to go. 2nd and 13. Ball's at the 32. Here's a snapback. George drops back to throw. He's going to look to throw across the middle. He finds Thomason in the end zone, and Thomas is going to have the ball just go in and out of his fingers. Incomplete. So that was a nice adjustment by Thomason on the ball when he saw where the ball was going to be placed.
And actually that was Bryce Bird.
Correction, Bryce Bird. Your eyes are much better than mine. 20 years younger.
So good job really there, like you said, making the adjustment. Just unfortunately couldn't pull that ball in.
So 3rd and 13 for the Flying Eagles. And you might see Robert C. Byrd try to run the ball here with one timeout in their pocket. Get a little closer to the end zone. Have 2 downs to pick up about 11 yards. And here's a swing pass out to Thomason. He's going to stay in bounds, and he's going to be short of the first down by about 2 yards. Forced out of bounds by the Oak Glen defenders. Number 11, Ethan Hankey.
Big 4th down play coming here.
And I would think you're going to see Nick George keep this ball up the middle. Clock will stop when they reset the chains.
Yeah, they've had some success with that quarterback keeper.
And they do have a timeout left, so they could always take the timeout, and then they're going to have 4 shots in the end zone, presumably. Here is George. He's going to rumble up the left side, and it's going to be tackled right at the sticks. It's going to be really close. So nice job by the Oak Glen defense to come up and lay a hit on George. Oak Glen thinks they've stopped him, and it does look close.
Yeah, from here it looks like he might be just a hair short.
That's what I'm thinking.
We'll see. Looks like they're going to come out and measure.
So the Robert C. Byrd chain gang out on the field for the first time tonight. And it is going to be a Robert C. Byrd first down, just by about a half a football length. So the clock will start on the referee signal. Robert C. Byrd ready to go, lined up. Oak Glen making last-minute substitutions. Here's George, drops back, rolls to his left, looking at the end zone, just out of the reach of Lotsky. So that pass was a little bit high for Lotsky. No harm done there, though. That'll bring up 2nd and 10.
See what play Robert C. Byrd runs here on 2nd and 10 with just 18.5 seconds left.
And if you're going to run the ball, you've almost got to run it from this distance on this down.
Yeah.
I don't think you could get back to the line of scrimmage. That's tough for high school teams with less than 20 seconds. So here is George dropping back, blitz, and he's going to throw the ball down into the end zone, and it's going to be caught by
Bryce Byrd.
Bryce Byrd, a nice snag in the back corner of the end zone for the Robert C. Byrd touchdown.
ESPN-esque. Top 10 catch right there, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. Great job of just going up and high pointing that football.
Looking at the replay, a great catch, like you said, and you know that they're working on that in practice.
And to be quite honest with you, he might have got both feet down, so it might have been good on Sundays.
Yes. So here's Thomason with the PAT, and it's going to be blocked. No good, so Oak Glen with good pressure there off the left side. So we got 11.9 seconds to go here in the second half. 27-15 is your score in favor of your Robert C. Byrd Flying Eagles as the fireworks go off here to our right. We'll take a short break, and we'll be back after these messages. Back at Robert C. Byrd High School, Robert C. Byrd Stadium. Fireworks just having gone off here. 11 seconds to go in the second half. Robert C. Byrd up 27-15 on what is now a much cooler night in the press box, at least.
Much needed cooler.
Yes. So Thomason will handle the kickoff duties. Number 3, Glen. And number 20, Buck Franklin, back for the Golden Bears. And here's another pooch kick. It's going to be fielded by Buck Franklin at about the 20, and he's going to rumble upfield. Couple missed tackles again by Robert C. Byrd. He's going to get all the way out to the 40-yard line. So Robert C. Byrd still having some issues on special teams.
He was eventually brought down there by Andrew Swagger. So we'll see what see what Oak Glen wants to do here.
And if I'm Oak Glen, I'm going to take a knee.
I think that's what you'll see.
They are in semi-victory formation, and they're going to drop back, take a knee, and they're going to probably consider themselves lucky the way the game started to be down only by a couple of scores. So that's the half here at Robert C. Byrd High School. Your score, 27-15, Robert C. Byrd. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back with a member of the Robert C. Byrd High School administration, Dr. Jamie Looker, after these messages.
Harrison County Schools has a long-standing tradition of providing outstanding educational opportunities for its students. Comprised of 24 schools, our district serves the needs of pre-K through 12th grade students throughout Harrison County. Providing a safe, supportive learning environment for all, we offer a well-planned, comprehensive curriculum designed to meet the needs of every student at every grade level. The elementary curriculum emphasizes core subjects augmented by music, art, health, integrated technology offerings, and physical education. Middle school students are introduced to programs, career counseling, and coursework that will help them make the transition to high school. Our high schools offer a broad and challenging curriculum to meet diversified needs and prepare our students for future careers or post-secondary education. Advanced placement honors, as well as dual credit partnerships, are available through local universities. Healthy Grand Families is a free initiative to provide information and resources to grandparents who are raising grandchildren. Healthy Grand Families is a partnership with Harrison County Schools, Family Services of Harrison County, and United Way. Harrison County Schools, where all are leaders and all are learners.
Welcome back to Robert C. Byrd High School. Your score, Robert C. Byrd 27, Oak Glen 15 here at halftime. Joining me now is assistant principal at Robert C. Byrd High School and a former alum, and I make no mistake when I say this, Dr. Jamie Looker. So let's get that elephant out of the room or discuss that right now. Doctor.
I earned my doctorate last March, so I'm very proud of that, and proud that I can bring the expertise that I've received during my doctorate time to Robert C. Byrd High School.
And we know you're modest. You like to work behind the scenes. That's why I wanted to get that out of the way and give credit where credit's due, because you're not just at home every night studying 5 hours for your PhD. You're dealing with stuff at Robert C. Byrd, and you're dealing with 2 teenage daughters who go to a school that is located somewhere across I-79, correct?
Correct. I have 2 daughters that attend another high school, and one's a senior and one's a sophomore. They keep me pretty busy outside of my school life as well.
So you are a graduate of Robert C. Byrd in 96, if I'm correct.
Yes.
So what was it like in 96 compared to what it's like in 2022?
Wow. When Robert C. Byrd High School opened, we came over as a senior class in January of that year. So we came here for for one semester for a half a year, and we were told going into it what a wonderful facility, what a state-of-the-art facility the Robert C. Byrd High School would be. And we saw a lot of that, but there were still a couple of things that weren't finished. The stadium wasn't finished at that point in time. The baseball field wasn't finished at that part in time. However, in 2022, we still have a state-of-the-art facility, one of the best facilities in the state, definitely the best facility in the county, and something that we've been proud of, and I, as an alum, am extremely proud of the fact that we've kept it up, that we continue to grow, we continue to add things to our school, and it's an amazing school to be a part of.
For a school that is over 25 years old, it is in what I would say immaculate condition.
Absolutely. And we have the staff and faculty that assist in that. You know, we have all of our staff takes a active role in our school, in the academics, in the keeping up of our school, and making sure that we have a school that we can be proud of.
And the students play a large part in that also, keeping the school in good condition.
Absolutely. I feel that they take pride in it, and I feel that they are happy to come to a school that they can be proud of every day. They know that they they should be excited, and that it's a privilege to go to a school in this kind of condition.
Now, by no means do I want to date anybody, especially me or you, but were there any teachers at Robert C. Byrd when you graduated that are still teaching at Robert C. Byrd now?
Yes.
What is that like?
It's neat to see both sides of it. As a student, I saw some of the teachers and saw them in those eyes, and now as an administrator, and I was a teacher before I was an administrator, to see that and to see what a class act they truly are. As a student, you respect them and you appreciate them, but you don't truly understand what goes into the teaching field until you're on this end. So being an administrator, it's amazing to see the time, the effort, and the caring staff that we have at RCB.
And as administrators, I can tell you that the staff loves you guys. You do a good job. You get out. You always support us, have our back, but you're also not afraid to tell us when we're wrong or we need to be doing something better. And you and Mr. Gibson and Mr. Post do a great job of that. So I want to thank you and commend you on that.
I appreciate that. It's one of those things where I feel like we all want to continue to grow. It's not, we can't be complacent. So as administrators, as staff, as faculty, we all need to continue to grow and look at our strengths and weaknesses and continue to make sure that we're providing the best education we can for our students.
Now, one of my words this week, one of my vocabulary words for my classes was eclectic, which means made up of many parts. And I would say that Robert C. Byrd has a very diverse or eclectic student body. Mm-hmm. I can imagine that's a challenge at sometimes, but it makes your work seem well worth it.
Absolutely. I wouldn't have it any other way. Our students, you can go into one classroom and talk to students, go to another classroom, go to the lunchroom. We have so many different programs and so many different things to offer our students that everyone can find a place, whether it's in the arts or athletics or CTE programs, AP courses, college courses, regular classes. We have a spot for everyone, and it's amazing that we have those opportunities.
And to borrow a phrase from the Hard Rock Cafe, love them all, serve them all.
Absolutely.
Well, Dr. Looker, we want to thank you for joining us tonight at halftime, and best of luck with the rest of the school year.
It's been a privilege. Thank you so much, John.
Thank you. We'll be right back after these messages.
direction of Field Commander Talia Hairston, we proudly present the 2020 competition show for the Flying Eagle Marching Band, Phantom, the opera. Phantom is the longest running show in Broadway history, and tonight the band will present a selection of songs including the title song, Phantom the Opera, and the ever-popular Music of the Night, featuring trumpet soloist Matthew Nutter. Flying Eagle Band is under the direction of Senior Drum Major Talia Hairston and Senior Drum Captain Jacob Rohr. This is the Flying Eagle Marching Band. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it again. It's the Flying Eagle Marching Band. And so, your winner. Nice job between the fire and the great day. I'm going to try it again.
Back here at Robert C. Byrd High School, halftime festivities just wrapping up. The Oak Glen Marching Band and the Robert C. Byrd Flying Eagles Marching Band for your halftime entertainment. We hope you enjoyed it, and we want to thank both bands and their directors. 27-15 in favor of the Flying Eagles. Both teams getting out on the field late here. We have 6 seconds to go in the half, and the last of the Flying Eagles just making their way out of the locker room. The bands were on the field for a longer amount of time, so not sure whether that was planned or not, but sometimes things just happen that way. So the teams are going to have to stretch here for a few minutes, and they just put 2:55 or 3 minutes actually back on the clock, probably as a signal from the officials. So we did find out at halftime the situation with Coach Josh Gorell, nothing to be alarmed about. We were sitting here, and just as the half was coming to a close, he appeared in front of the press box and went down the steps and into the locker room. So what we gather is that he is just coaching from the very top of the press box. And we're not sure why he chose to do that, whether it was planned, whether it was a last-minute idea. But it seems to have worked here with a 27-15 lead.
Yeah, definitely different. Maybe I know Josh is when I played for Coach Gorell, he was the defense coordinator, so maybe he wanted to get a look at it a little bit different. Sometimes you can see some different stuff up there. Again, you don't see that too often, but obviously with a 27-15 lead here going into the third quarter, it worked.
Yeah. And there's no guarantee or assurance that he'll do that next week, but you know, if something works and or you think it works,
even if he'll do it the rest of this game. So
yes, you're right, he may be down on the field for this game. Doug Layfield down below is chatting with the head official and a couple other officials, no doubt giving them a piece of his mind or infinite wisdom.
I was going to say football expertise.
Yes.
So
if you don't know Doug Layfield, or Dougie as he's affectionately known, last year had the drive from just off One Eagle Way all the way down to the stadium here at Robert C. Byrd High School, named in honor of him. So we're all sort of walking in Dougie's footsteps, or at the grace of Doug Layfield.
I was going to say in his walking in his bike tracks.
We are walking in his bike tracks.
So, real quick here before the second half gets underway, we'll take a look at some team stats. Glen has ran 24 plays. Robert C. Byrd has ran 40 plays. 147 total yards of offense for the Golden Bears to 348 for the Flying Eagles. Eagles hold the time of possession 13-17 to 10-21. 18 rushing attempts for the Golden Bears for 118 yards on the ground, 25 for the Robert C. Byrd Flying Eagles for 169 yards on the ground. Glen is just 3 of 6 through the air for 29 passing yards, while Robert C. Byrd is 7 for 15 and 179 passing yards through the air. Byrd has lost 2 turnovers. Glen has given the ball over once. First downs are an advantage of Robert C. Byrd, 13-7. And penalty yards, Bird's been flagged 5 times for 45 yards. Glen has also been penalized 5 times for 30 yards. And taking a look at individual leaders, Landon Betty leads the Golden Bears through the air. He's 3 for 6, 29 yards. Glen is the leading rusher with 11 carries for 66 yards, and Logan Murray has 2 receptions for 19 yards. For the Flying Eagles, Nicholas George is 7 for 15, 179 yards and a touchdown. Latrell Jones has 11 carries for 67 yards and a touchdown, and Bryce Birds had a nice night, 3 receptions, 66 yards and a touchdown. Defensively,
yes, defensively for the visiting Golden Bears for Oak Glen, Goodland on the night has 6 tackles, followed by Greenleaf with also 6 tackles. 5 tackles for Will Weekly, 4 tackles for Mr. Buck Franklin. For Robert C. Byrd, Bryce Byrd has an INT and 3 tackles. And Ty Drake with a total of 9 tackles on the night, and Logan from pitching in with 4 tackles to help out the Flying Eagles. I want to thank our statistician, Stephen Kennedy, and also, once again, our producer, David Oliverio, handling the video feed and working the equipment board, which I know nothing about, here at Robert C. Byrd High School. He does a phenomenal job, not only here, but out in the schools. Our statistician, Stephen Kennedy, also a graduate of Robert C. Byrd High School. .05 there, as he gives me a sign language 5 fingers up. So Robert C. Byrd's going to kick off. Braden Thomason with the honors. Goodland and Weekly back deep for the Golden Bears. Here's the kick by Thompson. He pushes it. It's going to be caught on the run at about the 20 by, that's Buck Franklin. Brought down by the Eagles at about the 27-yard line. So the the Golden Bears will start there 1st and 10.
And that was Andrew Swagger with the tackle. Special teams play for Robert C. Byrd.
Had a chance to step outside the booth at halftime. It's cooled off very much. It's a very pleasant night outside. So here's Beatty underneath center. He'll take the snap, hand off to Buck Franklin. Buck Franklin will come around the left side with a little bit of room, but he's met there by Lotsky, I believe.
Yeah, really good there by Lotsky. They were trying to get the edge there offensively for Oak Glen. Lotsky did a really good job of running that play, stretching that to the sideline, not letting him get upfield, and then making the tackle.
Lotsky, a 6'4", 225-pound senior. 2nd and 7. Ball's resting at the 33 for the Golden Bears. Beatty under center takes a snap. Here is Goodland rumbling down the sidelines, pushed out of bounds around the 50.
Actually going to say he stepped out before the 50. Looks like they're going to mark him right about the 46, 47. So as I say the 46, they move it to the 47.
So the Golden Bears pick up the first down on that nice running play. 11 minutes to go here in the third quarter, just starting out. Handoff to Greenleaf. Greenleaf will cut around the right side and make his way upfield. Stopped at about the 45, actually going downfield once he crosses the 50, as we like to say. Stop made by Drake on the left side of the Eagle defense. Second and 1. Ball's at the 44. Here's a quick handoff inside to Greenleaf. He'll pick up the first down and be stopped at about the 42-yard line, right in between the 42 and the 43-yard line.
Good job there by Lotsky and Frum to bring down the runner.
So Glen starting to get their ground game going, moving it better here in the third quarter and the second quarter. Quick handoff inside to Goodland. He's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Lotsky again with the initial contact.
Yeah, great job there by Lotsky initiated that, and then Ty Drake did a great job of finishing him off.
That's the 1-2 punch. Second and 12, ball's at the 45-yard line. Here's a snap, fake handoff, and Beatty's going to roll out. He's going to toss a pass downfield, caught by Franklin, right about the 37-yard line. He'll be run out of bounds by the Flying Eagles. That'll bring up third down in about 3. Ball resting at about the 36-yard line. Here's Beatty under center. Sends a man in motion. That's Franklin. He'll stop short. Quick handoff. Greenleaf's going to get it outside. He fumbles the ball, picks it up, reverses field, and he's going to be knocked down. No, he's still on his feet, stays in bounds. A bird tackler had a shot at him initially after he cut back against the grain. Missed him. And then Goodliff rumbles down to about the 30-yard line.
I'm not sure.
And we got 2 players down for the Eagles.
Who forced that fumble, but the Eagle that forced that fumble, he didn't move. He sat there. Not sure if he cramped up or.
Well, hopefully it's just a cramp.
I'm not sure if that's Ty Drake.
And they're looking at him now, and it looks to be just a cramp. We're not sure about the other tackler on the other side. We can't quite make out his number.
It looked like maybe Cooley. And it looks like he was diving at the runner's legs and might have took a knee or a shot to the helmet, it looks like. So
we'll see what we can find out here. We'll take a short break, and we'll be right back after these messages. So that was indeed Lotsky that made the initial contact and cramped up, and the other player, Hopkins, for Robert C. Byrd, also with what looks to be just cramping. So here's a handoff to Buck Franklin around the left side. He's going to have some nice yardage down inside the 10, still on his feet, knocked out of bounds at about the 5. So nice run by Buck Franklin from Oak Glen.
Yeah, really nice job following his blockers, getting to the edge, and getting upfield.
He was pushed out of bounds by number 3, Hunter Jackson, for Robert C. Byrd. So Oak Glen will have the ball inside the 5-yard line, first and goal, actually. And here is Greenlee sprinting around the right side, outrunning the Eagle defense for a touchdown. So a nice job by Oak Glen to open up the second quarter.
Yeah, really good.
Second half.
Really good job there. And it looks like another Eagle defender's down. Can't quite make out who it is. Looks to be just another cramp.
And with this heat, and it's not that hot now, but it was hot at the beginning of the game, and you're out there running around, you have got to hydrate days before the game, not just an hour before the game. I may have to start handing out Gatorade. So while the RCB training staff takes a look at the injured player, we'll take a break and be right back after these messages. Back here at Robert C. Byrd High School, the injured Robert C. Byrd Eagle up and walking off the field under his own power.
Looks to be Drake. And that's not, you don't want him especially to miss any significance. Hopefully it's just a cramp. We'll see if he can get back out there.
He might have a slight limp, but he looks like he's going to be okay. Gets a pat on the head from Nick George. And here's the PAT attempt by the Golden Eagles, and it's no good.
I know they called a
okay, I saw the
offsides.
official making a motion. So there was an offsides call. So now Oak Glen's going to go for 2 again, half the distance closer to the goal line from about the 2. Here's the snap, and it's going to be a handoff, and that's going to be Greenleaf trotting into the end zone for the PAT. So that's 4 points for the Golden Bears on 2 plays, 2 PATs, and they're slowly cutting into this lead. It's a 4-point game, 27-23. Robert C. Byrd will keep it here.
Big drive here by the Flying Eagles offense to try and respond and push this score up a little more for the Golden Bears.
And after that quick start to the game, they might have eased up a little bit, something that you cannot afford to do against any competition.
No, and I'd like to see them get back. Early in this contest, they were really dominating the line of scrimmage and really racking up some rushing yards. So let's see if they can get back to doing that here in this opening drive here of the second half for the Flying Eagles offense. Kind of went away from that late in the second. I know there were some worried a little bit about the clock issue and trying to move the ball quickly to get a score. But let's see if they could kind of put the ball back in Jones's hand and George's hand and rack some more rushing yards up.
Coach Grell still apparently above us in the press box, and it looks like assistant coach Tig Wagner is handling the on-field duties that Coach Grell would normally handle.
And it doesn't. I'm trying to look to see maybe if they moved up one of the returners to an up back. It does, in fact, look like they moved Bryce Bird.
Bird's in the middle there,
up
yes.
to the middle. So I'm not sure if Oak Glen has seen that or is aware of that.
We'll see what Richmond does here as he runs up for the kickoff. Yeah, he's going to pooch it. It's going to be fallen on. Not very good, but they do cover it.
Not sure who fell on that ball for the Eagles. Looked like maybe...
Looks to be number 26 or 22. If it was 22, it was Julian Lounsbury.
And I think it was 36, James McMillan. So
either one of those.
Either one of them had recovered that. Again,
we got the ball.
Very hard to see the numbers as that sun has now set.
Yes. So Bird will have the ball 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line, looking to get something going here in the second half. Here's a snap back and a pass downfield to Bryce Bird. He makes the catch, loses the ball, but it goes out of bounds. So they'll give him the gain of about 10 yards, right about at the first down marker.
Looked like Buck Franklin, or excuse me, Will Weekly caused the fumble for the Golden Bears.
We got a new running back in the backfield for the Flying Eagles. We believe that is number 11, Rylan Rock. We'll check that for you in a minute. It is Rylan Rock, the backup quarterback. And here's a pass by Nick George out on the boundary to, looks like, we'll check that in a minute here. But the pass is complete for a first down. Hunter Jackson. So we're relying a little bit on the PA announcer, Gabe Rhodes, getting the ball carrying defenders from Bill Bennett, the spotter here in the press box. We can hear that if we can't make out the jersey numbers. So that moves the sticks again for the Flying Eagles. Ball resting just inside the 50. Here's another quick pass by George downfield. They're going to pick up the first down again.
Oak Glen's giving Bird a lot of cushion there.
Yes.
Don't want to keep trying to keep everything in front of them. Don't want Bird to get behind them and beat them deep like he has earlier in this ball game.
Done that twice. That was indeed Bryce Bird on the reception. First down, ball resting at the 34. Again, Rock lines up in the backfield behind Nick George. Nick's going to roll out to the right, look downfield. Pass is just over the head of the intended receiver, Thomason. Correction, that was Thomason, number 12.
Yeah, George had him there just a little bit high, quite out of the reach of Tomlinson.
So that'll bring up second down for the Flying Eagles. 7:36 left to go here in the third quarter at Robert C. Byrd Stadium. George in the shotgun once again. And we're going to have a timeout taken by the Flying Eagles. The play clock was ticking down, and the coaching staff alertly caught that. Called their first time out of the half. Student section on Luau night or Hawaiian night still out in full force here at Robert C. Byrd Stadium. Stadium never was officially named or given any name, I don't believe. I think it's just Robert C. Byrd Stadium. Eagle Field at Robert C. Byrd Stadium, if you will. I saw it referred to as the Bird Nest or the bird cage, but the bird cage has been given to the gym. It's the unofficial name of the Robert C. Byrd Gymnasium, the bird cage. So if a bird cage is indoors and a bird's nest is outdoors, this could theoretically be called the bird's nest.
Or you could call this a Robert C. Byrd Atrium campus. Just throwing ideas out there.
Yes.
And I do believe that the bird cage was given by the class of 2005.
Coined by the 2005ers. Yes, sir. Here's a snap back to George on second down. He pushes a defender to the ground, lofts the ball deep downfield for an intended receiver. That was Cooley just off his right hand. Out of bounds. Pass falls incomplete. It's going to bring up third down. So he had Cooley there streaking down the sidelines. Just couldn't connect.
Yeah, just had him right outside the reach of Cooley. And Byrd has almost gone completely away from that early running attack. It's this. I don't think they've attempted a rush this entire drive. They have moved the ball well. The only bad thing is that clock is not ticking, and if you can't score or convert first downs, then you're going to give the ball back to Oak Glen.
So here's George with a quick pass out of the backfield to Thomason. Thomason's going to make a nice cut, pick up the first down, squirt downfield, still on his feet. He's going to rumble into the end zone on a nice run, a nice scamper to pay dirt for the Eagles.
That was all Braden Thomason.
Yes, and I'm going to say Braden Thomason is the best male athlete at Robert C. Byrd, hands down. He is a soccer player. He is a football player. He is a basketball player, and he also plays baseball just for the heck of it in the spring.
With those lateral movement, the tennis coach might be calling.
So the Eagles are going to go for two here. George with the snap. He's going to throw a fade route to a wide-open Bryce Byrd. No problem with that reception in the end zone. So the Eagles say, if you can score two, Oak Glen, we can score two. And that sets off the fireworks here at Robert C. Byrd. So we'll take a quick break and be right back. Your score, 35-23, Robert C. Byrd, 7-17 left to go in the third quarter. Welcome back to Robert C. Byrd High School. So Robert C. Byrd answers on that first drive at the second half.
Yeah, really good job there. Mainly did most of that through the air on the arm of Nick George, but it paid off as they scored not 7 but 8 as they went for 2 and got 2 points back.
So Byrd will kick off at the 40. Thomason will kick to Franklin and Beatty, back deep for the Golden Bears.
Beatty back deep. That was a tongue tire.
And it's another pooch kick. It's going to land right about the 16-yard line and go out of bounds. So that was probably designed by Robert C. Byrd. Oak Glen will take over. Ball will be placed at they'll move that out to the 25-yard line because it went out of bounds. No flag was thrown there, and that's usually a penalty if it goes out of bounds, but
they're just going to.
Yeah. We want to thank all the alumni and friends listening around the region once again tonight to the broadcast here on the RCBSN network. First and 10 for the Golden Eagles. Golden Bears. Here's a handoff. Around the right side goes number 9, Greenleaf. He'll pick up just a few. Give him 3 or 4.
Ty Drake with the stop. Give him another tackle on the night.
Gain of about 2. And if I keep making mistakes with the Golden Bears and the Golden Eagles, that goes back to my days watching and listening in the WVIAC conference. You had the Golden Eagles of the University of Charleston and the Golden Bears from West Virginia Tech, both down in the Kanawha Valley. Both very good in basketball. Here's a 2nd and 7. Run up the middle by the Golden Bears. Gain of about 2. That'll bring up 3rd and 5. Got an injured Golden Bear down. That appears to be number 3, Goodland.
Gail Adams with a stop for the Eagles defense.
Looks to be cramps again. Did you cramp up a lot when you played?
Not necessarily. I don't really recall cramping up a whole lot. They did a pretty good job keeping us, hydrated. I know one of the big keys when I played was we had a lot of oranges and Snickers on the sideline, a lot of sugar. But now the new thing this day and age is pickle juice. It doesn't taste the greatest. I mean, if you like pickles, it's basically like eating a pickle, but you're drinking it. But it does a really good job of keeping you from cramping.
And again, like we said, the key to avoiding all that is just to hydrate days before the game. Stay hydrated.
And a lot of times athletes, when you tell them to stay hydrated, they, you can't drink water and hydrate on Friday. You need to hydrate 2-3 days prior to your competition and keep staying hydrated. So,
and Coke or Sprite or Pepsi or Mountain Dew is not the hydration that the coaches are looking for.
No. The
has sugar, but it's not.
Yeah. The drink of these young student athletes, drink of choice is probably not on the coach's list of what they need to be hydrating with, whether it be Coke, Pepsi, or Sprite.
So we'll go 3rd and 5 at the 40 for the Golden Bears. Beatty under center. Hand off to Greenleaf. He'll roll around the right side.
And stop, and it looks like he's gonna be close, but it looks like he's gonna have enough for the first down.
So Greenleaf's got a little wiggle in him.
And that's gonna move the chains.
Ball's resting right at the 45-yard line. Beatty under center. Here's a misdirection handoff to Buck Franklin. He's going to be dragged down in the backfield by, we'll get a number here.
Looked like Drake again. And also in there was Logan for the Eagles.
So that'll back up Glen 4 yards, 2nd and 14 from the 40. Beatty under center. He's going to roll out to his left, looking to pass, hides the ball. He's got a receiver midway downfield. That's Buck Franklin with the reception. He's brought down by number 50.
Ty Drake.
Ty Drake again.
Really nice catch there for the Golden Bears. Buck Franklin did a really good job. I thought the pass was going to be a little bit over his head, but did a good job of going up and coming down with the football.
And I thought he might have been trying to hit the other receiver on downfield, but he came underneath to the, not the secondary receiver necessarily, but
check down.
So it's a 3rd and 7. Ball's at the 48. Big play here with 4:25 left to go in the third quarter. Beatty's going to be in the shotgun. He's got receivers, 3 to the right, 1 to the left. He's looking downfield, and he's going to have the ball go in and out of the hands of his intended receiver. So he was there. He was beyond the sticks. If he'd made the catch, he'd have had the first down. And that was number 2, Logan Murray. Just couldn't quite come up with the reception there.
Yeah, had him. Just a little velocity on that. Murray couldn't quite bring that in.
It's a nice pass by Murray. So the Golden Bears will punt. It's going to be number 20, Buck Franklin, handling the duties. Thomason back deep for the Flying Eagles. He'll look to return one, and we're going to have a punt. Looked like there was motion. Franklin punts the ball. Doesn't go. Goes to about the 25, so it looked to be going out of bounds a lot quicker than I initially thought, but it goes down to the 25-yard line, so all in all, not a bad punt.
It did look like there was some movement out here on this gunner closest to the Robert C. Byrd sideline. No flag was thrown, maybe just timed it up really, really well. And I am shocked by the spot. It did look like the football went out of bounds prior to getting to the 25, but however, still pretty good field position for the Eagles defense.
Yeah.
Or offense.
So Nick George in the shotgun. Rylan Rock there on his left side again. Here's a pass to Bryce Bird. Correction. Yes, that is Bryce Bird. Yes. Catches the ball, about a 10-yard gain, knocked out of bounds by the Oak Glen defense.
Bert Anthony there.
Bert Anthony. So Rylan Rock, the 6-foot, 180-pound backup quarterback linebacker, a junior, probably in there to block. And we're not sure. We don't have a report on why Jones is not in there. He had a nice first half rushing the ball, but he may have just gotten tired. We see him down there on the sidelines. He may be cramping. He's standing right next to one of the assistant coaches. Here's a snap back, and pass is going to be wide. Not a great throw by Nick George there. He was a little off balance, had some pressure.
Did have a defender there right in his face, and I think that previous play, I think after the first down there that Bird got, I think the official called a sideline warning on Robert C. Bird, so we'll keep an eye on that, because if it's another one, that'll be a personal foul and a 15-yard penalty.
Yes, we'll need to keep that in check. Here's a bad snap, and Nick George is going to lose about 15 yards. He's just going to fall on the ball. So an errant snap to his left. Couldn't come up with it. We'll take a look at the replay.
It looks like there's going to be an injured, just another cramp for an Oak Glen player.
Snap was to his left, just couldn't come up with it. And it appears both teams have enough hydration on the sideline. Maybe they're just not using it enough.
Yeah.
We'll take a look at scores from around the state while we have a second here.
Taking a look first, Class AAA, Huntington all over South Charleston, 34-0. That's in the third quarter.
And let me interrupt you there. Of course, South Charleston has a new coach in former NFL star Carl Lee. He's taking his lumps right now, but I'm sure he'll have that program back up and running in no time. Huntington, a good team, by the way, too.
Yes. Hurricane is all over Capital. That's 28-0 in the third quarter. Martinsburg leads Musselman 33-20 in the third quarter. Final from Morgantown. Morgantown takes down the crosstown rival of Robert C. Byrd, the Bridgeport Indians, 10-6. Big win there for Morgantown. The former Kaiser head coach has that program now rolling in his second year.
That's Sean Beiser.
Sean Beiser, yes. Parkersburg leads Riverside 21-7 at the half. Parkersburg South is all over University, which is the AARP Class A AAA game of the week on Metro News, 78-14. North Marion AA leads Preston 14-10 at the half. Looking at some other scores here in Class AA, Nitro leads AAA St. Albans 17-6 in the second quarter. Shady Springs leads Nicholas County 16-14 in the second quarter. Lewis County leading Braxton County 34-28 in the third quarter. Independence all over AAA Oak Hill 40-0 in the third quarter. Looking at some other scores here, East Fairmont leads Grafton 20-7 in the second quarter. Fairmont Senior leads Lindsay 17-10 in the third quarter. And Philip Barber Clay County, that is still not at 0 at halftime. And the triple AA game of the week, AARP Class AA game of the week, that is Bluefield and Princeton. Princeton's AAA, that game is tied at 7-7 in the third. Taking a look at some single A scores, Doddridge County all over Tyler Consolidated, that is 20-6 in the fourth. East Hardy all over Clay Battelle 35-0. Gilmer and Webster, we'll have to try and get an update on that. It says that's still in the first, not at 0-0. And any other scores? Meadow Bridge leads Richwood 14-0 at the half. South Harrison, big win for the Hawks. South Harrison beats Liberty AA 16-7.
In what was probably a very competitive game, I would imagine.
Valley Wetzel leads Calhoun County 42-34 at the half. And Wheeling Central takes down Tuscawaras of Ohio.
I believe that is Tuscawaras.
Tuscawaras of Ohio, 62-21.
So the injured Oak Glen player, number 58, Kyler George, up on his own power. That was not a cramp, though, in his legs. He apparently twisted an ankle, rolled an ankle, knee or something. He's limping, but he's off on his own power, so that's good to see for the young man. When play resumes, it'll be 3rd and 26. Ball's at the 21 for the Robert C. Byrd Flying Eagles. So here's George with the ball. He's going to throw out of the backfield to Rylan Rock. No, that's Thomason. Correction. Thomason makes some nice, nifty moves and gets up to about the 45-yard line. He's going to be just shy of the first down.
Buck Franklin is the tackler for the Golden Bears. And
there's a flag.
And that's going to be most likely coming back as both teams march back towards the field house.
Sometimes when there's a lot of flags, the teams do as much marching backwards and forwards as the band does at halftime. But, again, this is the second game of the season. New players, young season, you're going to have mistakes. So that's going to be 3rd and 31 for Robert C. Byrd. Ball's at the 16. It'll obviously be a passing down. Here's George unloading downfield to Bryce Byrd, and he can't get turned around to make the reception. Bryce Bird was looking over his right shoulder for the pass. The ball was thrown to his left shoulder, and he just couldn't make the adjustment. He had a step or two on the defender, but it was not to be. So we're going to punt now, are the Eagles. Thomason handling the duties. And this will be Thomason's most important punt of the night. Needs to get the ball out to close midfield. And remember, last week in this situation, we had a bad snap. So the snap's good. Punt's off, and it's a decent punt. It's going to get, well, it's going to go out of bounds, and they're going to mark it at about the officials walking down to the 45, 41-yard line. That's where the ball will be spotted for the Golden Bears of Oak Glen. We'll take a quick timeout here with your score 35-23 in favor of the Flying Eagles. We'll be right back. So on first down, Oak Glen is stopped behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose about 4 yards. That'll bring up 2nd and 14, balls at the 45-yard line. Good job by the Eagle defense there. Yeah. Again, we apologize for the lack of recognition of players on the field. We'll bring our binoculars next week, we promise. So here's the snap, flags down. And it's a handoff to Buck Franklin. He's going to roll around the right side, breaking tackles, and he's run out of bounds on the far sideline eventually.
Got close to the first down. See what the penalty marker is. Looked like it was right on the line of scrimmage, and looks like the play is going to be coming back.
Illegal procedure against the Golden Bears is the call. That'll back them up another 5 yards. It's going to be 2nd and 19.
So that'll be the 6th penalty against the Golden Bears. Robert C. Byrd also has been flagged 6 times in this ball game. Seems like a lot more.
It does.
But I guess they both have combined for 12 total flags, so.
And this game going on 2.5 hours, and we are not in the fourth quarter yet. So that due to all the cramping, the penalties,
stoppage of clock.
Stops the clock. Official standing over the ball, talking to the Oak Glen players about what, we're not sure, but they're ready to go now. Here's a snap back in the shotgun to Beatty. He's going to throw incomplete.
Really good job there by the front four for Robert C. Byrd to get a lot of pressure and really disrupt that pass play there for the Flying Eagles defense.
When Beatty has time to throw, he's accurate.
Yeah, he's had a pretty good game. He is 5 of 9, now 5 of 10 for 46 yards. So when given time, he's looked well.
Those aren't outstanding numbers, but he throws a decent ball. So it's still 3rd and 19. Ball's at the 50. Beatty's back to pass across the middle, and the pass is going to be caught by number 2. That's Murray scampering down to about the 35-yard line. He's going to be short of the first down, however.
Bryce Byrd is going to be the defender that makes that play and stops him from converting that 3rd and long. It's going to bring up 4th.
Ball's going to be placed at the 33.5-yard line. 4th and 2, they'll say. Ball's at the 33, they'll say also. Several men in motion. They come to a halt now. Here's the snap. It's going to be a handoff to the right to Greenleaf. He's going to roll around the right side, and he's going to pick up the first down, but it looks like there's a fumble. Bird indicating that they have the ball. And Bird does indeed come up with we'll wait for the official's call with the football. So we couldn't exactly see what happened over there. But the Golden Bears put the ball on the turf, and the Eagles pounce on it and come up with the turnover.
It looks like Ty Drake was the Eagle defender that came up with the fumble recovery.
So Bird will take over at the 30-yard line. They'll have a 1st and 10. Thank goodness we don't have instant replay in high school, because we might be here till midnight if we did.
Not sure what. There was an injured player down, but he has went off the field.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the I mean, there's a lot. The officials are allowing both teams to take an awful long time to huddle after a turnover.
And that may be planned due to the amount of cramping that we have seen in the game. I mean, the safety of the players is the most important thing here tonight, regardless of the score or the team that wins the game.
And now the officials are going to bring – both teams ran out to the field to go. And
this may indeed be a water break. I'll get the skinny from Coach Gurrell on Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday. Well, let's take a timeout with them. We'll be right back after these messages.
Harrison County Schools has a long-standing tradition of providing outstanding educational opportunities for its students. Comprised of 24 schools, our district serves the needs of pre-K through 12th grade students throughout Harrison County. Providing a safe, supportive learning environment for all, we offer a well-planned, comprehensive curriculum designed to meet the needs of every student at every grade level. The elementary curriculum emphasizes core subjects augmented by music, art, health, integrated technology offerings, and physical education. Middle school students are introduced to programs, career counseling, and coursework that will help them make the transition to high school. Our high schools offer a broad and challenging curriculum to meet diversified needs and prepare our students for future careers or post-secondary education. Advanced placement honors, as well as dual credit partnerships, are available through local universities. Healthy Grand Families is a free initiative to provide information and resources to grandparents who are raising grandchildren. Healthy Grand Families is a partnership with Harrison County Schools, Family Services of Harrison County, and United Way. Harrison County Schools, where all are leaders and all are learners.
Back here at Robert C. Byrd High School, while we were at timeout, the teams came back on the field and started play. We had a reception to Bryce Bird on the left side of the field for about 7 yards. So apparently what happened is after the turnover and the injury, Oak Glen did indeed take a timeout. And we went to commercial, and then Oak Glen came out of the timeout, as well as our Robert C. Byrd did, and started play. So it's going to be now 2nd and 3 on the 37.
Well,
for Robert C. Byrd.
The down marker across the field says 3rd, so we'll.
Yes, it does. And here's Nick George completing the pass across the middle to Thomason on a nice cutting route across the middle. And we got another injured Golden Bear down.
He's up, and maybe just got the wind knocked out of him. That looked like Trent McCartney. Looks to be okay.
So the ball is going to be placed at the 44-yard line. First down for the Flying Eagles. 35 seconds to go in the third quarter. Nick George in the shotgun. Rylan Rock to his left. Here's Nick George with a quick pass down to Thomason at the 35. He's going to be pushed out of bounds at about the 31-yard line.
And correction, that was Bryce Bird on the reception.
Again, I do not have my binoculars. I apologize. So another first down.
And it looks like Bird is going to be content
to let this clock
to take this lead into the fourth.
And if they want to let the clock run out, that's no complaints from me. I like football, but we want to get this game rolling for the safety of the players. We don't want them out here any longer than they need to be. I want to once again thank the administration for all they do getting this off the ground and the countless work of the volunteers in the community, teachers, support staff, maintenance workers, our custodians that really work tirelessly here at Robert C. Byrd High School and the stadium and the complex. So Robert C. Byrd jogging back out onto the field. They'll be heading right to left now as the third quarter comes to an end and we begin the fourth quarter. So just about ready to go here. First and 10 for the Eagles at the 33. George in the shotgun. Sends Thomason in motion, fakes a handoff. Quick pass out to the right. Nothing really there for Byrd and the intended receiver.
I'm going to have to go back and look, but I believe that Robert C. Byrd has not attempted a rush in the second half.
You may be correct. Second down for the Flying Eagles. George once again in the shotgun. Rylan Rock to his left. George is going to keep this, and there's your rush.
Yes.
He's going to rumble upfield for about 9 yards. And we were talking about that at the half, or at the timeout, is that Robert C. Byrd needs to run the ball, to run this clock, get out of here, not keep the Golden Bears in the game by those incomplete passes and not gaining yardage.
Yeah, and the tackler there was Logan Murray, who comes up holding his shoulder. So a good play by him, and not sure if there was a timeout taken or what. Robert C. Byrd came to the sideline, but the Golden Bears player is off the field. But yeah, you don't right now. Robert C. Byrd is really helping Oak Glen stay in this ball game. Byrd is leading, but you're not shortening the game. And as we've seen, Oak Glen can throw the ball, but they don't want to. So the more time you leave on the clock for Oak Glen whenever they possess the ball, the easier it is for them to be able to run what they want to do and run their offense.
And it's still a 2-touchdown game at 35-23. So here's Nick George on the keeper, rumbles around the left side, takes a shot, and the Oak Glen defender kind of just bounces off of him. Nick George stumbled backwards.
Yeah, the initial tackler was Bert Anthony, but Nick George really initiated that contact, bounced off, and finally was brought down by Colton Goodland.
His name's been called a lot tonight.
He has. He's had a good game for the Golden Bears. And Bert here, the last two plays have been designed quarterback draws, so they to me it looks like they're trying to get this clock rolling a little bit.
And here's going to be motion. So Nick George was in the shotgun. That time Lotsky lined up to his right, and George motioned Lotsky to go behind him and around to the other side. And as Lotsky was going around him, he was moving forward towards the line of scrimmage when the ball was snapped. And, of course, you can't do that at any level of football. So that'll be a illegal motion. False start. Take your pick. Probably a legal motion.
Yeah. So we're going to back them up 5 and replay first down.
Here's George back to pass under pressure. Unloads to Thomason. Can't come up with the catch. That would have been really hard to complete that pass. George just really right in front of, Thomason right in front of George. George had to put some zip on it and just kind of hit Thomason awkwardly.
Yeah, and there were several defenders after George there. It looked like George kind of just threw that at Thomason's feet.
Here's a pass for Bird. Nice one-handed catch. He snags, stays on his feet after he's hit by the defender, and then pushed out of bounds at about the 13-yard line.
Really nice grab there. Second beautiful catch of the night by Bryce Bird.
Bert Anthony with the force out and tackle for the Golden Bears.
It's only been 2 games, but Bird is going to have a nice highlight film at the end of this season.
Yes. Ball's at the 15-yard line, 3rd down, and 5 to go for the Flying Eagles. Here's George on a keeper right up the middle. He's going to have the first down, and he's going to roll into the end zone for a Robert C. Byrd touchdown. So George on a nice 15-yard run right up the gut.
Yeah, good play call. Quarterback draw all the way. Again, he's a big, physical, powerful runner. Not your typical quarterback build, and allows him to scamper in for that touchdown run.
And we've got another Oak Glen player down. We can't tell whether he's cramping or it's another injury. So with your score 41-23, 10:18 left in the third quarter, we'll take a break and be right back after these messages. back here at Robert C. Byrd High School on the never-ending evening. 41-23, your Flying Eagles on top, 10-18 to go in the third quarter. And I would imagine and hope that both of my grandchildren are in bed by this time. I think I know at least one of them is.
And I'm going to say one of them is not. And I'm going to say the one is probably my son. I feel for his mom right now if he's not.
So Bird's going to go for two here, and we're going to have another fade pattern to Bird in the end zone. No problem. PAT good. So they can't stop that play to Bryce Bird.
No, that's twice now on back-to-back two-point conversions where they've ran that fade to the back corner pylon, and it's worked to perfection.
So with that score, Bird doubles up the Golden Bears from Oak Glen by 20, 43-23. No, that's not a true double, is it?
No.
Almost. By 20 points.
And at this rate, either two things will happen with the fireworks. We will run out of them, or possibly a noise complaint from surrounding communities trying to sleep, calling in.
Could be. And I don't believe you can see those fireworks from anywhere in town, unless you're on a ridgetop or you're really high somewhere on the hill above Nutter Fort. Do we have a nickname for Bryce Bird yet? Because I feel like we need one.
We can make that happen. Double B. Just throwing some
Double
out there.
B. BB.
Yeah. Any Bird fans out there that have a good nickname for Bryce Bird, you can tweet me at Getting Griffey with it. Give us your suggestions. We will credit you with the nickname.
Here's a kickoff. Oak Glen fields the ball inside the 20. Number 32, Bert Anthony, rolls around the left side. He's going to be stopped right about the 31-yard line.
Like another penalty flag, most likely offsides on Bird. If it is, that's going to be the 8th penalty.
And what fans may not realize is that penalties, scores, and injuries all contribute to the clock stoppages, and that's what extends the game.
And I'm mistaken. That's going to go against the Golden Bears. So that will be their 7th penalty of the ball game. Not sure what they call. Most likely probably a block in the back or an illegal block. The official has a field mic, but he has not used it much this evening.
And I talked to Mr. Post about that tonight, and he said that they had used one last week. Of course, we can't hear everything all the time with our headphones on. Oak Glen will have the ball, 1st and 10 at the 31. Here's a quick inside handoff to, that looks like Greenleaf, or Goodland, correction. He'll rumble up for about 7 yards to the 29-yard line.
That looked like Ryland Rock
on the stop. So Ryland Rock getting some defensive action tonight. It was indeed Ryland Rock, as the PA announcer says. Second and 2. Ball's at the 29. Here's Beatty under center. Takes a snap. Handoff around the left side to Buck Franklin, and he'll have the first down. Gain of about 6.
Nice little run there by Franklin to get to the edge. Not a whole lot there, but he made something out of nothing to pick up that first down.
Looked like he was going to be stopped short in the backfield.
Looked like Hunter Jackson either Hunter Jackson or Andrew Swagger with the tackle there. I'm not sure if that's an 8 or a 3 as the leftover smoke from the fireworks worsens my view.
9 minutes on the clock here in the fourth quarter. Robert C. Byrd in command, 43-23. First down for the Golden Eagles. Beatty under center. Here's a quick handoff inside. Nothing doing. Good pressure. Good stop up the middle by the Robert C. Byrd defense.
Looked like Davidson
Gain of about 1,
with a tackle.
maybe 2. Student section here at Robert C. Byrd beginning to dwindle. The luau had its life. It's beginning to die down. The students heading off to begin celebrating their 3-day weekend. And here's a pass intercepted by number 11, Rylan Rock. He's going to roll all the way down inside the 10-yard line, and he's thrown to the ground after he was well out of bounds, but there's no flag.
Yeah, I don't think the closest defender there, Buck Franklin's the one who ran him out of bounds, but it looked like his own Eagle players, teammates, shoved Rock to the ground, which then hit Buck Franklin, and he was just trying to get out of the way.
We'll watch that on the replay. Certainly want to encourage good sportsmanship.
Really good break on the ball.
Nice read. Nice skills. Ball hawking skills is, I believe, what they're going to call them.
It's like a timeout on the field. Looked like that was by Oak Glen, as they only have, the scoreboard says they only have 1 remaining.
So I would imagine that Robert C. Byrd will keep this ball on the ground.
You would think and try, honestly, with 8:06 left in the fourth, you're up 43-23. You don't want to risk too much injury, hanging players out to dry. So some good, solid running. And try and run this clock. You might like to try and punch it in here, maybe with 4 minutes, and then kick the ball back off. So we'll see.
They're going to throw the ball, though, as we speak. And here's Nick George with the pass across the middle. It's going to be incomplete to, I believe that was Jones. So Jones had to go down a little bit to make the catch. Just couldn't quite come up with it.
Yeah, down around his knees. Did have a defender right there. So George was trying to place the ball where only his receiver could get it.
Correction, that's not Jones. I believe that is number 20. I believe that's maybe Ethan Williams or either Julian Lounsbury. So it'll be 2nd and 8 from inside the 10. Here's another pass. He's got Thomason in the flat, and a nice tackle is going to be made by the Oak Glen defense. It's going to be brought down about the 10. Might lose a yard or 2 on that.
Yeah, good job there by Goodland. Read that play. Wasn't fooled at all to make that stop and actually give the Eagles a loss.
And a lot of most hardcore football fans understand this, but some fans don't realize the amount of knowledge and preparation that goes into these games and that these players have to go through, knowing what the other team is going to do. It's really a mental game in a lot of aspects.
It's almost more mental than it is physical, especially in this day and age. And it's going to be the last timeout taken by Oak Glen.
I think Robert C. Byrd actually took that timeout, is what
yes.
the official signaled.
So as that have that timeout, we'll take a look at scores again real quick and update everybody. First in AAA, Buchanan Upshur gets their first win of the year. They beat Ripley 13-6. Woodrow Wilson is up on Greenbrier East 49-21. Huntington in the fourth is up 48-0 over South Charleston. Hurricane leads Capital 41-0 in the fourth. Martinsburg wins big over Musselman 62-20. Morgantown defeats Bridgeport 10-6. Parkersburg leads Riverside 35-13 in the fourth. Park South wins big over University 78-14. And Hedgesville gets a win over Warren County, Virginia 29-7, all in Class AAA.
Thank you, Jonathan. 3rd and 8 for the Flying Eagles here. George back to pass once again. He's going to throw another pass in the end zone for Bryce Byrd, and they're going to say he caught the ball. He must have got 1 foot down. That's not Bryce Byrd. That's Thomason. Correction. My mistake. Yes, so that's Thomason in the end zone. We'll look at the replay. Just a fade route. Nice throw. Nice touch by George on that ball. Shielded by 2 defenders. Great concentration by Thomason. Comes down with the ball.
So Thomason comes into the night looking for his first touchdown, and he's going to be leaving with 2 tonight. So he's going to match the amount of goals he scored yesterday morning, and we'll see if he can outdo himself if Byrd gets the ball back.
And he may have a soccer game tomorrow, for all I know.
If he does, and it's at home, he should invest in a cot.
Our statistician, Stephen Kennedy, says that there is no soccer game tomorrow. So Byrd will go for 2 here. Snap the ball quick. George is going to keep it. He's going to rumble around the left side. He's going to bull his way in for the 2-point conversion.
And Nick George has done a really nice job on that quarterback.
And
draw.
God love him, he looked a little slower on that run.
He's a little wear and tear late in this game.
After so many rushes on the night, we can't blame him. So that's going to make it 51-23. So Byrd's blown open a game here that looked relatively close in the third quarter, in the waning minutes of the third quarter. Let's take a timeout, and we'll be back after these messages. Back at Robert C. Byrd High School, the Eagles in control. Braden Thomason set to kick off. Nice kick downfield. It's going to land inside the 20. It's going to stay in bounds. And the receiver is, or the up back, that's number 32.
Bert Anthony.
The ball actually never went out of bounds. Stayed in the field of play. And the receiver was stepped out of bounds, had a foot on the line, and touched the ball. And now the official
the head official just dropped the flag, but that ball did not go out of bounds. They are having a lengthy conversation.
Oak Glen thinks they're going to have the ball at the 25-yard line.
And I feel like I'm reliving West Virginia Pitt plays under review all over again.
Yeah, and they are calling a legal procedure against Robert C. Byrd. So Oak Glen is going to get the ball at the 25-yard line. I'm not sure I understand that call.
No, that is a disheartening call there. That was a brilliant kickoff.
Yeah. Two officials still discussing it. But it's going to be first down. Balls at the – they're going to have them at the 35-yard line now. My mistake. Referee signals the clock or the play to begin. And here's a botched play. The center and the quarterback didn't move, but everybody else moved. And that's a new quarterback in there for the Golden Bears. That's number 24, Glen Adams, a sophomore.
And it looked like Ian Gould, number 55 for the Flying Eagles, with that sack.
And whatever it was, that play is going to count. So Adams remains in there. He's going to give the handoff to number 8, Tyler Mazingo. He'll pull ahead for about a yard, maybe 2.
Looked like Rylan Rock with the tackle. Had a big interception earlier in this fourth quarter.
3rd and 8, balls at the 31 for the Golden Bears. 5:54 left to go here at Robert C. Byrd High School. Here's a handoff off the right side. Cuts back, gain of about 6 yards. Host of Eagle defenders bring the ball carrier down. We believe that was number 8, Tyler Mazingo, once again, just into the game.
Davidson in there with the stop, as well as Gould.
So both teams beginning to substitute now freely in what is a 3-hour-long game. Here's the handoff for Oak Glen around the left side. That's number 32, Bert Anthony once again.
Davison, again, good pressure. It's the first would-be tackler there. Then he's finished off by Rock.
So that'll force the Golden Bears to punt.
Well, I believe that was 4th down. I believe that was a turnover on downs.
Yes, it was. Yes, correction. And RCB has called a timeout. We'll keep it right here.
Next week, Robert C. Byrd will be home. I'm sorry, that's Oak Glen. Looking at the wrong schedule. While we have
it's a long night.
While we have it, Oak Glen will be on the road at North Marion, so they're going to make another trip down this way. Robert C. Byrd will be home on September 9th against Greenbrier East High School.
And RCB does have a nice schedule this year. They have their first 3 games at home. Their farthest or their longest road trip is only to Elkins, which is about an hour, hour and a half by bus. It's all interstate. So the schedule sets up nice for Coach Gorell and his staff.
Trying to see if I can find a score for Greenbrier East.
So Ryland Rock in at quarterback now. He'll take the snap and he'll give the ball off to number 36, we think it is. That is James McMillan. And he'll rumble down the left sideline, around the left side for about 20 yards. Bird looking to keep the ball on the ground here, one would imagine. 4:44 left to go, 51-23. Rock stays in at quarterback in the shotgun position. He'll take the snap. Here's another handoff to McMillan. Going around the right side, cuts it outside the 20 down to about the 18-yard line.
Cameron Hebrock with the tackle for the Golden Bears.
Ryland Rock is a 6-foot, 180-pound junior quarterback, getting some valuable snaps and experience tonight here.
And you know that this game is out of hand, but that is one nice thing. When it's a lopsided victory, you get some of your backups and some of the kids that are less experienced, get them some good game time
for both teams. So here's an errant snap gone awry, and Rock just picks it up and he rolls around the left side.
Sam Wright gets the stop for Oak Glen.
So a good job there by Rock to make a little something out of what was nothing. Brings up 3rd and 4 for the Flying Eagles, 3:29 to go.
And Coach Gorell has made his way back down to the sideline. Did coach the rest of the second half from the top of the Eagles' nest.
So here's a handoff to McMillan. He'll roll down inside the 10. He'll be knocked out of bounds at about the 7-yard line. That's going to give Bird a first down with 3 minutes to go.
Parker Royce forces McMillan out of bounds for the Golden Bears.
So it was long, and at times it wasn't pretty tonight, but Coach Grell's going to be happy with the W. He's going to get out of here. Even his record at 1-1. Oak Glen's going to fall to 0-2. Here's Rock with the keeper up the middle, and he's going to cut left and scamper into the end zone for another Eagle touchdown. Gives the young man some confidence.
It does. Good job. Design quarterback run the entire way. Does a good job following his lead back, McMillan, and gets into the end zone.
The only negative being it stops the clock. What is the margin what does the margin have to be for the clock to run in high school sports? I'm not sure what that is exactly, and I don't want to say anything if I'm not 100% sure.
Sorry, can you please repeat the question? I'd like to give a shout out to Robert C. Bird's former alum, graduate Keith Axton. He is listening and just tweeted at me the score. So it is Greenbrier East is losing to Woodrow 49-21 with 7:04 to play in the fourth quarter. Woodrow has attempted one pass in the ball game. So I'd like to thank Keith for giving us that update for Bird's opponent next week.
And if they've only attempted one pass in the ball game, I'm assuming the other team has attempted about 50 passes. Or they started maybe at 8 o'clock. Who knows?
Now, I'd like to go back to what was your previous question as not sure. Did Burt just take a knee?
I think they may have. So that if they did, good sportsmanship.
That was a 2-point conversion. I don't know if there's a penalty.
We can see a replay here.
Looked like they just took a knee as the fireworks.
So our statistician, Steve Kennedy, informs us that the margin has to be 35 points in high school football for the clock to run.
Beautiful display of fireworks. Maybe the best set of fireworks we have seen tonight.
Best set of the night.
Next week I'm going to also request from Mr. Eric Post of not just the fan, but maybe a coffee pot.
A little caffeine. We want to thank them for providing us with food and drink also before the game. The administration does that for all those that work in the press box and those that help out with the game operation. So here's Thomason kicking the ball deep, and he kicks it over the head of the Golden Bears receiver. That's number 11 who fields the ball.
Ethan
Hankey. He's going to roll around the left side. Nice little gain there.
Good job of, really making something out of nothing, as he didn't pick that up till about the 5-yard line, and looks like he gets out to about the 30.
Robert C. Byrd student luau section down to about 9 right now. Want to thank them for their dedication and hanging around. So here's Glen, 1st and 10, balls at about the 29, they'll say the 30-yard line. They'll snap the ball, keep it on the ground. They'll run it up the middle. Gain of about 1 on the play. Host of Eagle defenders with the stop. Number 32, Bert Anthony for the Golden Bears. Clock ticking now below 2:20. Here at Robert C. Byrd High School. Going to be 2nd and 9 for the Golden Bears. They're letting the play clock run down before they snap the ball. Here's a handoff to number 81 rolling around the left side. That is Parker Boyce with a nice little run. So in what's turned out to be a lopsided game, Glen came in here, put up a good fight through the 3rd quarter. They'll have a fairly long bus ride back home. We hope they get home safely, and the guys get a nice nap and a good meal on the bus home, back up to the northern panhandle. 3rd down for the Golden Bears, snapping the ball with 3 seconds on the play clock. Here's a handoff, and the Golden Bears are going to have what looked to be a first down. Yes, the officials are going to mark them with a first down. Made the first down and was pushed back. It's Bert Anthony, number 32, with the carry.
Julian Bailey with the tackle for the Flying Eagles.
So the clock's inside 1 minute now. First and 10 for the Golden Bears, letting the clock run down, the play clock run down inside 10 seconds. They're going to snap it with 8 seconds left to go. Here's another handoff to number 81, Boyce. He's going to go around the right side.
Host of
for a gain of about
defenders there.
3 yards.
And that might do it.
Looks like the Golden Bears are going to try to get one more snap off. 8 seconds to go here in the game. It'll be close. They do get the snap off, and it's a handoff up the middle. Nothing doing. Loss of about 3 as the play clock goes off. So your final score, Robert C. Byrd 57, Oak Glen 23. We'll be right back after a short break to wrap things up.
Harrison County Schools has a long-standing tradition of providing outstanding educational opportunities for its students. Comprised of 24 schools, our district serves the needs of pre-K through 12th grade students throughout Harrison County. Providing a safe, supportive learning environment for all, we offer a well-planned, comprehensive curriculum designed to meet the needs of every student at every grade level. The elementary curriculum emphasizes core subjects augmented by music, art, health, integrated technology offerings, and physical education. Middle school students are introduced to programs, career counseling, and coursework that will help them make the transition to high school. Our high schools offer a broad and challenging curriculum to meet diversified needs and prepare our students for future careers or post-secondary education. Advanced placement honors, as well as dual credit partnerships, are available through local universities. Healthy Grand Families is a free initiative to provide information and resources to grandparents who are raising grandchildren. Healthy Grand Families is a partnership with Harrison County Schools, Family Services of Harrison County, and United Way. Harrison County Schools, where all are leaders and all are learners.
Back at Robert C. Byrd High School, your Flying Eagles victorious 57-23 over the Oak Glen Golden Bears here tonight. We're going to wrap things up quickly here as this game has been going on for 3 hours and 20 minutes as the fireworks go off. We will mention number 50 for Robert C. Byrd, Ty Drake, ends up with about 20 tackles, give or take a few tonight. So we hope you'll join us next week when the Flying Eagles host Greenbrier East. We want to once again thank our producer, David Oliverio, and on stats and other miscellaneous trivia for us, Stephen Kennedy. So until next week, this is John Griffin saying good night, Josiah.
And Jonathan Griffin saying, I hope Josiah is in bed.
Good night, and thank you for watching and listening to Robert C. Byrd High School football.
Midfield, down the near side sideline to the 30, the 20, the 10. They're not going to get him. It's a Robert C. Byrd touchdown.